Hi, I'm Mike Singletary, the other Mike Singletary, owner of Singletary's Furniture.
Whether looking for the perfect piece or an entire room, Singletary's large inventory of quality brands makes shopping easy. Our friendly staff will gladly assist you with decorating ideas, financing, and pre-delivery in the area. And everyday low prices and customer satisfaction is always our goal.
Price, selection, and quality are very important at Singletary's Furniture, and we got prices you can bear.
Welcome again to Kangaroo Football 1999. It's a pleasure again to join you, especially after a week off. We got a lot of work done during our week off last week, and certainly didn't quite show like we wanted to as far as our improvement was concerned. Friday night, we were certainly pleased with the victory. A little bit sloppy in places, but we do feel like we still improved as a football team, and certainly we're very proud of that. I know that 3 wins in a row has given us a little bit of momentum going into next week's big rival with Mineral Wells. Mineral Wells is a fine football team. Certainly they have a lot of talent, a lot of speed on their football team, so we've got our work cut out for us next week. But again, very pleased with the victory this week over Castleberry. I know that in light of some of the things that happened during the ball game, we feel like we can improve some of those things. A little bit sloppy in our execution, but certainly I know that our players were a little bit disappointed, as were our coaches, in some of the things we did, but we were very, very pleased with some of the things we did as well. Had probably our best night throwing the football, throwing and catching, a lot of ground covered through the airways. Garrett Hudson had a touchdown pass. Mark Pierce had a touchdown pass. So we had some other big plays in the passing game. We can still improve in that area, and I know that we will as the season progresses. So once again, very glad that you've joined us, and I hope you enjoy the broadcast and all the other things that go along with Roo football. Homecoming 1999, a very exciting event. Certainly I know that the student body, as well as all the alum that were in attendance, we're grateful for your participation in the homecoming activities, and certainly very, very grateful for your support in the stands Friday night. Big crowd, big homecoming crowd, and I think our players were very appreciative of that, as we will be each and every Friday night. I know that the homecoming queen, Katie Keeney, congratulations, Katie, on winning the homecoming queen for 1999, and all the other candidates. Man, what an outstanding group of young ladies who were candidates for our homecoming queen, and again, we just salute all of you, and especially give congratulations to Katie. Katie certainly got all the looks in the family, because BJ and JP don't measure up. So congratulations, Katie, on winning homecoming queen 1999.
Hi, I'm Mike Singletary of Singletary's Furniture. You know, there's only one thing more relaxing than fishing, and that's kicking back in a good recliner. At Singletary's Furniture, we have a full selection of top quality recliners, such as Flex Steel, Best Chairs, Ashley, and Lazy Boy. Come by and see how great these recliners are, because once you sit in them, you're never going to want to get out of them. Catch the big savings at Singletary's Furniture, 1215 Highway 180 West in Weatherford.
This week against Castleberry, we welcome back some players who had not been able to play for us thus far this year. We welcome back Danny Merritt, who suffered an ankle injury in our preseason scrimmage. Danny, for his first game, came in and played well. Michael McDaniel, a young man who we've missed the first 3 games as well. Michael, playing defensive back, has a lot of speed and is able to play man coverage probably as well as anyone we have on our squad. Came back and played at corner for us, so we're very grateful to have those guys back, and they're going to be a big addition. Unfortunately, last week we lost Todd Stroud for some 6 weeks. Todd alternated at starting linebacker, and our regular scheme was our nickel linebacker, and of course was our backup quarterback. And so we're certainly missing Todd right now. We hope that he can heal quickly and get back if we have the opportunity to go in the playoffs, which is certainly our goal and our plan. So missing Todd, but grateful to have Mike and Danny back. We also look forward to next week's game. Might be able to be at full strength for the first time, with the exception of Todd. I know that we did not have Andrew Shanahan, who was sick. If Andrew gets back and we don't lose anyone in practice this week, we'll be the closest to full speed and have everyone healthy for the first time, with the exception of Todd, for this season. So if we can get Todd back and keep everyone else healthy, we have a chance to improve the people that we're able to put on the field. I know throughout the telecast each and every week you're able to meet some of the coaches and hear a little bit about some of our assistant coaches, and I would like to say now that I don't think there's any staff anywhere that is as good as the one that we have here. Our coaches do such an outstanding job in teaching our players, and they are outstanding people as well as teachers and motivators, and I think that Weatherford should be very, very pleased and proud with the group of assistant coaches that we have here. I know that as I come to work each day, I feel very privileged to have the opportunity to work with these guys, and not only our coaches, but some of the other people who work so hard to help our players do the best they can. I know Ty Comstock, Director of Strength and Physical Development, our trainers, Corey and Doc, do an outstanding job. Kathy Martinez, our athletic secretary, just does so much to allow our coaches the freedom time to be able to coach and work on the videos and do the things that they need to. And Kathy, we certainly appreciate all that you do. Philip O'Neill, Steve Gobin, working with the administrative part of the athletic program, do a great job and certainly take a big load off our coaching staff as far as handling administrative things. So a lot of people spend a lot of time and energy in trying to help our football team be ready to play and ready to compete at their highest level, and we're grateful to each and every one of them. I know our players certainly enjoyed this week a breakfast feast that the moms prepared for Saturday morning of homecoming weekend. As we practice each and every Saturday morning with our varsity football team, the moms and dads prepared breakfast, and our guys loved it. Of course, they did have to pay for that breakfast, but I know that it was a great treat and certainly one that our players enjoyed, and moms and dads, we really appreciate you taking time to do that. And we gained a little weight Saturday morning, so we'll be a bigger football team next week. Part of our sloppiness, I think, on offense was due in part to the way that Castleberry played defensively. They changed their defensive scheme almost entirely for us. We're going to probably see that as weeks go on because of the success that we've had running the football inside and on the sweep play. So we're going to have to be able to make adjustments a little bit better than we did early in the game Friday night. But I think that was probably part of the reason that they had some success against us defensively and part of our sloppy performance. On the other side of the ball, they changed up a little bit offensively and came at us a little bit, and that's something that we're going to have to get ready for because I know that Mineral Wells, Brewer, and Springtown, our next three opponents, are certainly going to attack us at the line of scrimmage. We've got to play much better against the inside run than what we did. I think we will do that. It was just a little surprise, I think, to us Friday night. So we're going to improve, I know, and defensively in stopping the inside running game because I know we're going to be seeing that as time goes on. We had some big plays in the special team category. I think you're going to see as you watch the video, we had some really big plays out of the punt return team. Certainly our kickoff coverage, what a great way to start the game. Shane Weeks got down and got a great hit on the opening kickoff. Jeremy kicked the ball well again. I know that we didn't have to punt the ball too many times, but Garrett punted well when we did that, and we had good coverage. So we're pleased with the special team play, and I know that too is going to get better and better each week, and it needs to as that is such a significant part of any close football game or the special team play. So I think that we did a good job Friday night. We'll only get better as we continue to improve.
I'm Mike Singletary. Everyone knows I love to rough it in the great outdoors, but sometimes it's hard to get a good night's rest sleeping on this hard ground. I sure miss my Sealy mattress.
Where'd you like the new mattress, Mr. Singletary?
Just put it in the tent. Come check out a wide selection of fine Sealy mattresses at everyday low prices at Singletary's Furniture.
Dad, Mom said it's time to come in for supper.
The following is a Nothing But Sports production. Hi everyone, I'm Bob Tallman, and it's Weatherford Kangaroo time here at Nothing But Sports. But first, NBSP and our sponsors would like to say congratulations to you, the players and coaches, participating in today's game. In the spirit of competition, we encourage you to play hard, play fair, and respect your opponent. You'll be cool if you do. And I want you to take care of your game tape. 30 years from now, it might be the most valuable video you own. Now, before the battle begins, let's take a look at the teams and the athletes and the coaches coming up in today's game.
Today's game will be at Kangaroo Stadium for a district game between the visiting Castleberry Lions and the home team, Weatherford Kangaroos. The Kangaroos come in with a season record of 2 wins against only 1 loss. Offensively, the Kangaroos average 259 yards rushing per game, 37 yards passing, for a total of 296 yards per game on offense, while scoring 22 points per game. Defensively, the Kangaroos allow an average of 197 rushing yards per game and only 177 passing yards per game, only giving up 23 points per game on the season. Kangaroos head coach Larry McBroom said this about his upcoming opponent, the Castleberry Lions. He said they have a very big, physical offensive line and a very tough fullback. The Lions' defense is small but returns 3 starters at linebacker, and they play very hard. On offense, as always, we must control the ball with our running game and use the pass to keep our opponents honest. We look for a breakout night in our passing game, as we had an excellent week of practice throwing the ball. Our defense must improve our tackling to compete at the level we are aiming to achieve. All 11 players must run to the ball. We have a goal to create at least 3 turnovers each week.
It looks to be an exciting battle between these 2 powerhouses coming up right here on NBSP. We'll be back in a moment with Nothing But Sports player profiles for a close-up look at the players and coaches. Stay with us.
Honey, can you pay these bills? It won't take you very long if you use Texas Banker Online.
Sure. Girls, I'll be right back.
Texas Banker Online, a simple and secure way to bank over the internet with no service charge. Now you can pay bills quickly and conveniently from the comfort of your own home with Texas Banker Online.
That was quick.
Yeah, that Texas Banker Online is really simple. Whose turn is it anyways?
Texas Banker Online, a product from Texas Bank. Plug in now.
They dress him up like a ghost and he's looking through and it's Halloween and he's walking around like this.
My parents told me to go swimming, and I was like, no.
You love watching movies, and Blockbuster thinks you should be rewarded for that with Blockbuster Rewards, where the more movies you rent, the more free ones you get. Plus, get a free Blockbuster Favorites movie every month.
He got on top of that bomb just like it was a horse. He was going to ride that rascal all right on into where it was going.
Join Blockbuster Rewards today and go home happy.
Welcome back, everybody. Now let's take a personal look at NBSP Scouting Report and discover who's wearing the uniforms and what really makes them click and tick.
Now let's take a look at number 3 for the Weatherford Kangaroos, Kane Riddle, 5'6", 150-pound junior who plays fullback and strong safety. Favorite academic subject in high school is math. Some of his hobbies and interests include hunting, fishing, and sports. We asked him what he would do to be a champion. He says whatever it takes to make him succeed in life. Some of his goals include owning a 10,000-acre deer hunting ranch in South Texas. His occupation, well, he wants to be a rancher or a hunting guide or a pro football player. That's number 3, Kane Riddle, for the Weatherford Kangaroos. Now let's take a look at number 14 for the Weatherford Kangaroos, Stephen Chesney, a 5'9", 170-pound senior. He plays tailback. His favorite academic subject in school is Spanish, and he's got a lot of hobbies and interests here, obviously football, and we add band, church, and the youth choir to that list. We asked him what he'd do to be a champion. He said anything. Some of his cute future career goals are aviation and law. That's number 14 for Weatherford, Stephen Chesney. Number 64, Bradley Simmons for the Weatherford Kangaroos. He's only a sophomore, 5'10", 280 pounds. He loves football, and some of his other hobbies include fishing and outdoor activities. His favorite academic subject is biology. We asked him what he would do to be a champion, and he said, work hard. That's Bradley Simmons, number 64 for the Weatherford Kangaroos. Let's take a look at Coach Dwayne Ross. He's the offensive line and linebackers coach for the Weatherford Kangaroos. He's coached 3 years as assistant coach at Montgomery High School, 92 through 95. He's starting his 5th year at Weatherford High School. He played football for 4 years at Navasota High School as a center and an outside linebacker. Played baseball for 3 years, a pitcher and a shortstop. His major is kinesiology. Hobbies include hunting, golf, and jet skiing. One of his most memorable moments in his sports career, well, as a player, high school playoff games in football, and as a coach, having a silver medal put around his neck at the state tournament. That's Coach Dwayne Ross of the Weatherford Kangaroos.
That concludes this week's NBSP scouting reports, and we'll be back in a moment on location with the big showdown. Stay with us. Today's game is being brought to you by Texas Bank. With us, it's personal. And by the New Car Dealers, backing the Roo Crew in '99. On the offensive line tonight for the Roos, you'll see Branch, Such, Ross, Antillian, Hash, Connell, Brown, Nunn, and Simmons. Backs and receivers include Boney, Hudson, Pierce, Borland, Legale, and more. You'll also see Shanahan, Leslie, Cook, Holm, Clayton, and Coates. Branch will be the deep snapper on punts, PATs, and field goals. Phillips and McClure will be handling the place-kicking duties, and Garrett Hudson will be punting for the Roos. Defensively, you'll see Merritt, Safford, Tidwell, Such, Cope, and Day. The linebacking crew consists of Carlisle, Such, McClure, Marin, Stroud, and Hammerman. The secondary for the Roos will consist of Wilkie, Clay, Weaver, Borland. You'll also see Riddle, Weeks, and McDaniel in the defensive backfield. Weatherford coaching staff consists of head coach Larry McBroom, LeVan DeLay, Adam Rupert, Dwayne Ross, Don Bird, David Beninati, Lewis Whitson, Brent Whitson. The strength coach is Ty Comstock, and the athletic trainer is Corey Pack.
Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet. Tuffet Muffet. She would have sat on anything, she was so wasted.
Your future is a long and winding road. There are many options, many distractions, many twists and turns you can take on the way. Your future is out there. Need directions? Weatherford College can help you get exactly where you want to go. So contact us today. At Weatherford College, our grads go places.
Al, Super Save Produce Buyer, line 1.
Dave! Yeah, 20 truckloads of grade A direct from my orchards today at 20% below market price. You know, Dave, you could advertise a lower price if you bought my grade B. Yeah, but there's not that much difference. But it's good enough for your competitors. 20 truckloads.
Super Save's low price gets you the good stuff.
Okay, the good stuff.
Welcome back to Weatherford Kangaroo football. We are just about ready to get this one underway. It is the first 8-4A district game of the season for both teams. We want to welcome our KZ 1220 live audience and also our Nothing But Sports presentation audience that will be watching the game on the Nothing But Sports video and on cable TV on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've had a change in that, so we want to let you know about that as we get ready for the kickoff.
Now, Randy, before we get started, I want to get it recorded here, okay?
All right, get it on now.
Now, you don't have Mark here this week, okay? But I'm going to go out on a limb. You couldn't get Mark to do it. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to predict this game for you, all right?
All right, give me the prediction right now.
My prediction is a shutout and 40-plus points by the Roos, all right? It's on the record.
All right, folks, you heard it. Here is the kickoff by Jeremy McClure. It's going to go back to Christopher Ward, and he has it around the 5-yard line, and he is nailed, and I mean nailed hard, and coming down is Shane Weeks to level him, and also in
Stephen
number
Chesney.
14, Chesney, right? So the Kangaroos are off to a good start here. We have not seen any long returns against the kickoff team all year, and Castleberry not able to do it here on the opening kickoff. They'll be ready to go at their own 14-yard line. And we have a huge crowd here. It is homecoming night. And have you ever seen a crowd like this, Don Legale, in Kangaroo Stadium?
Every year at homecoming.
Boy, this is enormous. The wind is blowing rather stiffly out of the southeast. The Kangaroos will have that wind behind them, and Castleberry will be moving into it as they move from west to east. Here is the first play, and it's a handoff, and it breaks open nicely for the Lions across the 25, and up to the 30-yard line is John Thompson. Big John Thompson is a senior. He is also a very good linebacker for Castleberry. Now, Castleberry has not been able to move the ball well this year, and you have to be a little surprised if they can come out with a handoff like that, Don Legale, and break it open.
They had their blocking assignments very nice. Made a big, nice hole just off to the left side of the line, and we had to get our free safety, Wilkie, and cornerback on the right side, Cole Borland, in on that tackle up near the 30-yard line.
1st and 10. The Lions at the 29. They defeated the Kangaroos last year in overtime, 10-7. Who will ever forget that game? It probably cost the Roos the district championship. Again, they give it to Thompson. He goes off left tackle, gets a couple of yards. Quickly over there is Such to make the tackle, as the Roos hold him for only a couple of yards on that first down play. Castleberry lost last week to Burke Burnett. Now, Burke Burnett was a playoff team a couple of years ago, but they have been down a little bit. 14-7 was the score in that game. Here is the quarterback rolling out to the right side. He's under pressure from McClure. He throws a pass, and I believe Boney, no, looked like Boney for a minute might have intercepted that, but he did drop it.
Big rush by Jeremy McClure around the left side. Didn't look like he was blocked even from the line, and I think that was a pass to get out of the grasp of Jeremy McClure right there.
McClure was all over him from that outside linebacker position. We'll have a third down play now for the Roos, or rather for the Roos on defense. They've got across the front, Tidwell is there. Also, Safford is in at one of the tackle positions. And on the left side is Jason Such. We'll give you the linebackers in the backfield in just a moment. Here's a pitch out that is fumbled. And I believe Thompson, no, the Roos have got it. And who fell on that, Don Legale?
71.
Danny Merritt is back in, and they told me yesterday that he would not be playing, so Danny Merritt is playing. You know, he had been out with that broken fibula, and it is good to see him back in. Actually, he was the marquee lineman for the Kangaroos as the season started, so the Roos are at the 30-yard line quickly here on the Castleberry side. And here is a handoff, a straight handoff on the right side from Zach Moore, the quarterback, to Pierce, and Pierce gets across the 30-yard line. Not much yardage there. Now, Castleberry has been tough defensively. They've been tough defensively for the last several years. Their problem has been on offense. Their offense has been continually putting their defense under a lot of pressure. Second down, one man in the backfield. There are two receivers to the right side. Here's Zach Moore, fakes a handoff, and then goes to the left side just outside his own guard and tackle and shoots upfield beyond the 25, inside the 25, down to the 23-yard line. Nice move by Zach Moore, and he likes that play right there, Don Legale. He scored off something rather similar to that against Burleson last week.
You know, he moves so quick, turns around to the backfield, makes his fakes, and then suddenly he's turned around back upfield and finds a nice hole on the left side. Good game.
Third down, 6 yards to go. Here's a handoff to Pierce, and he gets maybe a yard or two. This will not be a first down as they try a direct handoff on the left side of the line. And Mark Pierce way up there in rushing yardage in Class 4A. He has something like 380 yards total. He does, exactly 380 yards and 56 carries for Mark Pierce. We'll have a 4th and 2. They'll have to get inside or right at the 20-yard line of Castleberry. They're going to go for it. One man in the backfield, or rather they have a split backfield, and here's a fumble. And let's see if the Lions have it, and it looks like the Castleberry Lions are going to recover that at the 20-yard line, and that play did not look too good starting out, Don.
A little late on the handoff to the second back out of the backfield, and it kind of bounced off his thigh and went out into the line. Castleberry Lions fell on it, so turnover for the Roos. Lions will be 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line.
So they'll come out with receivers to the left and right. They'll have a pro set backfield. Their quarterback is Christopher Ward. He took over last week for the Lions. And here's a handoff in the backfield. And oh, this is getting nothing as quickly coming back there is Jason Such. And also coming over the top was Tidwell for a good stop for the Kangaroos there. That'll be a loss of about 3 yards all the way back to the 18-yard line.
Looks like they got crossed up in the backfield. The quarterback turned around and kind of bumped into the running back. But now Castleberry's taking a timeout, and they're going to give us a little break.
Well, let's go ahead and take a timeout right here. We're at 8:40 of the first period. There is no score. We'll be right back in a minute.
Honey, can you pay these bills? It won't take you very long if you use Texas Banker online.
Sure. Girls, I'll be right back.
Texas Banker Online, a simple and secure way to bank over the internet with no service charge. Now you can pay bills quickly and conveniently from the comfort of your own home with Texas Banker Online.
That was quick.
Yeah, that Texas Banker Online is really simple. Whose turn is it anyways?
Texas Banker Online, a product from Texas Bank. Plug in now.
Can I have a puppy? What do you mean Ground's never coming back? Why does she get to stay up? Where do babies come from?
Did you smoke marijuana when you were my age?
The older they get, the more complicated the questions. Here's how to answer.
Hello, I'm Don Cressman, candidate for District Judge for the 43rd Judicial District of Texas. I'm here today to ask you to do two things. First, I want you to support the Weatherford Kangaroos. Second, I want you to vote for me on the March 14th, 2000 primary for District Judge. Thanks a lot.
Welcome back to Kangaroo Stadium. We are in the first period of play. 8 minutes, 21 seconds to go. The Castleberry Lions just ran a play, and that was stuffed by the interior of the Weatherford defense. Jeremy McClure was one of the players in there, but also Tidwell and Safford were in, and so far the Lions have not had much success trying to go inside the ends of Weatherford. Here is the quarterback going back, and he is immediately stormed under.
Give some credit to, gosh, 3 players. We've got Keith Such, Scott Safford, and I think Cash and Carlisle got in there, and they were all over the quarterback in a big hurry, so he's down at the 12-yard line.
Well, it took the Castleberry Lions 3 plays to lose about 9 yards on the first play. Adrian Martinez lost a couple of yards. That is the one play that you missed in that series. Happened just before we came back. So here's a 4th down and about 19 yards to go. And here is the punt by the Lions. Nice punt across the 45. And here is Colt Borland at the 40. And will spin around and finally drag one of the Lions across the 30 down to the 29. So again, we have very good field position here for the Weatherford Kangaroos.
Oh, you're right. I missed a play there. Well, somehow I didn't get that written on my scorecard.
Well, we were a little slow coming back, and we did miss that first play by the Castleberry Lions. It was a 2-yard loss. Now the Kangaroos have got it at the 29. One man in the backfield, that's Pierce. They'll have 2 receivers to the left side. Here's Zach Moore spinning around, throws one in the flat. That one is complete. And that looks like that's Garrett Hudson across the 10, the 5. He's going in for a Roo touchdown.
Well executed play. Took the cornerback on the left side down into the interior middle of the field. Left a clear lane for Hudson to catch that pass and run up the sidelines. First passing touchdown for the Roos this year.
That was beautiful, and it opened up. The other receiver on the left side made a good block that opened that up, and Garrett Hudson just turned it on, and he went all the way in. That is a 29-yard pass from Zach Moore to Garrett Hudson, and the Roos suddenly are on top 6-0. Here's Jeremy McClure, and Colt Boland held, and that one was good right through the uprights. It's 7-0 Kangaroos. We'll be right back right after we pause for a minute.
Little Jack Horner sat in the corner. Sure, smoke that much pot, and you'd be paranoid too.
In the early days of Parker County, the courthouse and square was the focus of activity. Education was important. The first high school was built in 1885 on the north end of the block, now occupied by the City Hall. The White Junior High was constructed on the site of the old Central High and was used until the new South Main School was available.
We are named Weatherford National Bank because we are Weatherford. From the rodeo to the Peach Festival to Christmas on the Square and everything in between, you'll find us there sharing in the rich heritage of Weatherford and Parker County. Come by any of our 5 offices located throughout Weatherford and Aledo, where you'll find free checking with overdraft protection, full-service mortgage department, extended lobby hours, and even Saturday banking, all the services that our customers have come to expect. Weatherford National Bank, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Kangaroo Stadium. The Weatherford Kangaroos lead the Castleberry Lions by the score of 7-0. We just had a 29-yard pass from Zach Moore to Garrett Hudson. And suddenly the Kangaroos have jumped on top. It took them one play after the punt return by Colt Borland. Colt Borland took the punt around the 45, ran it back to the 29, and that's where the Roos went in. Here's McClure with another kick, a line drive that was spinning sideways and went right over the head of Roby Robertson, who was back there for the Lions. And so Castleberry will start again from their 20-yard line here in the first quarter, trailing by a touchdown.
Well, and as we were saying there during the break, we had that whole play was set up by a great punt return by Borland. You know, the defense drove them back deep. They had a punt that only got out to the 45-yard line, and Borland took it 15 yards to set us up for only 30 yards for the drive.
So the Lions come up now. They have a wingman to the left side, and here's a handoff again. This is to that big back, number 33, John Thompson. Thompson running hard. He may have a first down as he crosses the 25-yard line. He's up around the 29. They're going to say he's a yard short, and they have found a little hole on that quick hitter on the right side of the Kangaroo defense right now.
Craig Boney coming over from the linebacker position to bring him down, though, and put a stop to that run.
Second down, 1 yard needed. The ball at the 29. Here again is Thompson. Nice move. He's a good little running back. Gets across the 30 after the 34 as he jumped away from the interference there at the line. Was able to get outside on the Roo defense. That'll be a first down for Castleberry.
That time we closed the hole, so he had to go around the outside edge of the line. He met his buddy Craig Boney again, though.
And Craig Boney, he has turned out to be just a very good middle linebacker out there for the Roos. You like to see him behind those two small tackles that they usually have in there, Sanford and Tidwell. And here is Boney again in on a tackle. And also number 71 was in there. That is Danny Merritt, who's coming back this week. 3 yard gain across the 35 to around the 37.5 line. We'll have a second down and 7 for Castleberry. The wind is blowing at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. It is behind Weatherford right now, so Castleberry moving into a stiff breeze. Kangaroos got on their black pants and their blue jerseys in this game, rolling out to the right. There goes the quarterback, Ward, and he's going to keep it across the 40, 45, midfield, and he finds a big hole on the left side of the Kangaroo defense this time, and Christopher Ward has a nice run.
They rolled out to the right side, and I think we got drawn in on the fake, and all the line and the defensive end over on the left side got drawn in on the fake, so he had a long way to run before we could catch up with him.
So in 4 plays, the Castleberry Lions have moved across midfield. They're at the 47 of Weatherford, and they have shown the ability to move the ball a little bit in this game. They, I believe, have moved some players around because some of these guys are not in the familiar positions that we've seen them on film. And this time we have someone jumping in the backfield, so this will be procedure against Castleberry.
Just a little early movement on the part of the guard of the tackle on the left side. We'll move the Castleberry Lions back 5 yards and give them another chance.
They will have a 1st and 15. Jason Such comes out, and also Danny Merritt coming out. Tidwell comes back in. Mauricio Merritt is in there. Darrell Clay back there is one of the safeties, and also Wilkie is in the backfield. And you know Wilkie, he had an appendectomy. Lost him the first couple of weeks of the season. And he came back strong against Burleson 2 weeks ago. Here is the split backfield. And the ball comes straight out of the hands of Christopher Ward. It just squirted up in the air. And we're going to have another procedure penalty. And this is not going to help Castleberry. Their offense has had enough problems as it is this year.
Look, that time like everybody but the center and the quarterback moved.
And thank goodness it was a procedure penalty because that ball was dribbling around down there around the 40-yard line of Castleberry, and the Roos could have picked it up. You know, the new ruling now is you can pick that football up and take it in for a touchdown even if it's behind the line of scrimmage, and that's kind of hurt the teams that do a lot of pitching out. Your option teams, they've got to be much more careful now with the ball than they were a couple of years ago. And now Ward will motion for Christopher Woodard to get back in the proper position. Here is Thompson. Thompson has good moves, not much of a hole there as he goes to the right side. Darrell Clay comes in and makes a good tackle, and we've seen Darrell Clay come on this year and make a lot of big plays already, and the Kangaroo defense not having too much trouble a couple of weeks ago with Burleson. And you expect this defense to continue to improve as the season goes along.
Weatherford will be looking for a pass play on this one, so they make a couple of defensive changes.
Second down and about 18 yards to go. Here is Ward. He's going to roll the left side. He has a little flare pass out there and in the flat that is not caught by Thompson. I think John Thompson could have had that one. It was right off his fingertips. So it'll be incomplete. We'll have a third down play. and 18 yards to go for the Castleberry Lions. We're talking about Wilkie having that appendectomy. A lot of the players for Weatherford, Don, have been out, but not because of injuries that they've suffered on the field.
Yeah, that's right. And fortunately also they haven't been out very long. You know, it's a week and they're back.
Ward, the quarterback.
Quick kick.
And he's going to, oh, nice kick there by number 44. That was Christopher Woodard, and that is a good play there for Castleberry. You really have to like a team that can think of doing that and then be able to execute it.
Yeah, they've got us down on the 5-yard line now to start off.
All the way back to the 5, so the Roos will have a lot of distance between themselves and the goal line. We're at 4:25 to go in the first quarter. The score is 7-0. With the Kangaroos leading, we want to give you all of the cheerleaders. The cheerleaders for the Kangaroos: Stephanie Allison, Kendall Andrews, Carrie Boyette, Tiffany Duty, Haley Golding, Amy Hastings. We'll give you the rest of them in a moment. 1st and 10 for the Roos. Now here's a pitch out. This goes to Mark Pierce. Now he's going to come back the other way, and he's got an opening. And he makes a cut around the 10, gets away from one man, spins around him, and gets up to the 13-yard line. And Pierce saw that was going to be blocked off nicely by the defense of Castleberry. He just turns around and brings it back the other way and gets about 8 yards, Don.
Yeah, that was nice, nice work. And unfortunately, we couldn't find any more Roos over on this side of the field to get a block or two.
The other cheerleaders this year for the Kangaroos, these are the varsity cheerleaders: Brianna Lilly, Angela Monty, Rebecca Norwood, Jamie Smotherman. Seniors are Chaley Hudson, Jamie Jordan, Katie Keckney, and Leslie Sheffield. Here's another play that will gain maybe a yard or so, and I didn't see who carried as I was looking at the cheerleader list here, Don.
Well, we mirrored the other play. We had a pitch sweep left on the first play, a pitch sweep right on this play, and Pierce got up and had to hurdle a Roo that was down on the ground, and then he was met at the 14 by a couple of Castleberry Lions. 3rd and 1.
Kanga the Roo is Dylan Phillips. In case you wonder, I've asked several times who was Kanga the Roo, and that is Dylan Phillips in that kangaroo suit, and he always does a good job. 3rd down, just a yard to go here for the Kangaroos. They're at the 14-yard line. Here's a handoff to Pierce, breaks one tackle right at the line of scrimmage, and then spins up to the 20-yard line. And Mark Pierce has been a big cog in the Kangaroo offense so far. This is not a sophisticated offense necessarily that the Kangaroos are running, but I'm going to give you a play last week. It's the little quirks that Coach McBroom puts in there that makes it so good, and I've got one I'll tell you about a little later on. Here's Zach Moore. He's going to keep the ball, gets away from one man, and then is going to be tackled right at the 20-yard line. He spun around and faked it inside to Pierce. Looked like he wanted to pitch it out on a reverse, but then at the last second decided to hold the ball, and he gains about a yard just across the 20-yard line. You know, last week Zach Moore was lined up underneath center, or actually, yeah, he was underneath the center, and Shanahan was out there way out, about 5 yards out on the left side. He made a great, it was a great play that they ran for a 25-yard touchdown against Burleson, and I'll try to tell you about it again a little later. Rolling to the left is Zach Moore. Oh, nice pass across the 30-yard line. There is Colt Borland to receive that one. He's immediately hit by Adrian Martinez and down, but that is a first down, and boy, you like to see Zach roll out and put that thing right on the money like that, Don.
Had some nice work by Pierce up in front of him to hold the rush back. Zach had plenty of time to find Borland, who had gone upfield a good distance, get a nice 12-yard gain out of that play.
Well, this is the 5th play of the drive. The ball is out across the 32, and Moore now is going to keep the ball on the quarterback draw. We've seen that break open a lot, but this is a pretty tough Castleberry defense. Nobody just runs all over them. They've got size in there. They've also got some quickness. They've got some tough players that have been around a while. And you have to work hard to beat this team. About 2 yards on that play for Zach, right at the 35. We're down to 1:41 to go in the first quarter. The Kangaroos are leading at 7-0. They'll bring 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left, 1 man in the backfield. That is Pierce. Here is Moore, darting, jumping, and maybe a yard or two as he crosses the 35. faked it again to Pierce and tried to go over that left side. But on that 25-yard run against Burleson, Shanahan was 5 yards off the line of scrimmage on the left side, and he went in motion. And when he went in motion, you could just see the linebacker on the right side for Burleson saying, oh, this is a reverse. He ran up to get Shanahan, and then Zach Moore reversed his field and went right through the hole that the linebacker left for Burleson last week. That was a beautiful play, and that quirk was put in there by Larry McBroom. Here's a pass that will go long, and looked like that route was cut off by Borland a little early, and it'll be incomplete. So a 4th down and about 6 yards to go here for Weatherford. They're at their own 36-yard line.
Yeah, there was a mix-up there on the route that the wide receiver took and the route that Zach Moore expected him to take. And so the ball falls incomplete beyond the defense and the receiver.
Garrett Hudson is back this week. As you know, he missed the Burleson game. Weaver came in, did a good job for him. And here is Hudson. This one will be off to the side of the foot, and it's going to go out of bounds, probably somewhere up around midfield. Let's see where the ref is going to mark it. He's at the 45. He's going to mark it at the 44. So the Lions will take over in relatively good field position here at their own 44.
Had a pretty good rush on. I wonder if Garrett kind of hurried his kick there once he saw the rush coming in, but they're going to start at their own 44. 1st and 10, 47 seconds left in the first.
He burned his arm. That's another one of those injuries that's not football related. We've had a number of those for the Kangaroos, we mentioned earlier. 1st and 10 now for the Lions. Here's Thompson with the ball across the 45. And John Thompson will gain a couple of yards. Boy, the going is tough against that Weatherford defense. Boney is in on the tackle, and also Such was there. 2nd down, about 7 yards ago. They will mark it just outside the 47-yard line of the Lions. We're down to 16 seconds. This will probably be the last play of the first quarter. We have an offset I formation, and here's a pitch out to the right side. Nothing doing as Adrian Martinez takes that one, and he may have got back to the line of scrimmage. Jerryman McClure was there. Also, big number 84, that's Jeremy Day. And that will be the end of the first quarter of play. The Kangaroos lead it 7-0. We'll be right back with more Kangaroo football on KZ 1220, your sports center, in just a minute.
Your hometown bank teams up with your hometown Kangaroos to provide the support for a successful athletic year at Weatherford High School. Texas Bank, a proud sponsor of the Kangaroo Stadium scoreboard, the Sports Medicine John Deere Gator, and the new athletic training complex. Texas Bank makes the commitment to our student athletes to place them in the winner's circle. Backing our Kangaroos, banking at Texas Bank. Member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
You can find yourself living in the middle of breathtaking beauty among the wildlife of Texas at Silverado on the Brazos. This upscale, low-density equine residential development has a world-class arena, 200 box stalls, and professional trainers on site. Spectacular building sites in the Brazos River. Boating, hiking, trail riding, and coming soon, an 18-hole championship golf course. To choose your beautiful home site, call 817-341-7770.
It's always someone else's kid who smokes marijuana. Someone else's kid who's messing up in school. Someone else's kid who's having trouble at home. But what happens when someone else's kid meets your kid? Talk to your kids about marijuana before someone else does.
We're just about ready to get the second quarter underway. The Castleberry Lions have it. 2nd down, about 7 yards to go. They're at their own 47. Here's a handoff. It goes right back to the quarterback. and he tries to get off a pass, but he is downed by Jason Such. Jason Such was all over him. He did not go for the fake at all, and he was downed back around the 43, and they may call this for, yep, they're going to say that was illegally downing the ball by the quarterback. He let go a pass, but it was nowhere near any of the Castleberry receivers, and that will be a loss of down and the yardage also. We're going to have a 4th down play now for Castleberry. They'll need 10 yards to go, and they're going to punt it away as Jonathan Richardson will go back, and back deep we see Garrett Hudson and also Colt Borland. Here is the snap. Nice hard line drive kick. Garrett has to go back to get it at the 17, is at the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. It looks like he's knocked out of bounds, though. Got a foot on the line at the 38-yard line. And that wall was setting up quickly for the Roos. And I think one more block there, and he might have took that one all the way.
That looked like a hard pass to catch. You know, he was kind of running toward the outfield fence to get that one over his shoulder and then reverse his field and get back running upfield. Got a couple of blocks, found a little seam along the sidelines, but he got too close to the chalk, so they mark him out of bounds, looks like on the Roo 38-yard line.
So 11:43 to go in the second quarter, and the Kangaroos come out with a wingman on the right side and 2 receivers also to the right side on the big side of the field. Here's the pitch out to Pierce, looking for some blockers, tries to make a cut, finally does, and he's across the 45. He's in the cleared midfield. He's at the 40. He's at the 30, the 20. He's into a Kanga trot, baby. That is a touchdown for the Roos.
Well, you could see the defense over pursuing on the pitch there, and that's just what happened. As soon as he was able to break through of all those defenders, there's nobody left on the field.
Well, it looks like we have a penalty flag on the play, and so Mark Pierce, folks, has done it again. This has got to be some kind of a record. This will be 4 straight games that he has had a touchdown run called back. It is going to come back, but again, you just cannot keep from noticing the ability of Mark Pierce to break these plays open. And, you know, when he cut against the grain there, Don, there was no doubt that he was going to go all the way, but we're going to have a holding penalty against the Roos.
Oh, what a bad break. What a bad break. They're going to have to start this drive 1st and 20 now, but, well, maybe he'll do it again, and we'll get 10 extra yards out of the play.
That's possible. That's what Mark Reby accused the Roos of last week, was getting a couple of penalties, so they're going to have a longer touchdown play, but you can get in trouble doing that.
Boost their rushing yardage, but we're going to have Pierce come out for a second. We're going to have Cash and Carlisle in the backfield this time. No, he's going to come out wide.
Well, we'll
have another shotgun.
Well, they're going to have a spread formation here in the shotgun with Zach Moore. He's looking for a hole, and he can't find one as he gets to the 30-yard line, a gain of about 1. The ball was placed all the way back on the 29-yard line. It was a second down play there with the penalty against the Roos on that long run by Mark, and only 1 on that run by Zach Moore, so second down. Let's call it 18 yards to go. Again, 2 receivers left and right, a wingman to the right side. Zach Moore in the shotgun. He's looking for someone. There's one over the middle, and it will be caught. It was tipped, but still caught. Amazingly, Kane Riddle, I don't know how Kane was able to keep his concentration there, but the ball, I think, was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Kane was sliding down and was able to hold on to it for a nice gain. The gain is up to around the 46.
Real nice work there. He really had to slam the brakes on and get back to where the ball was, leaning back toward the ball, and gets his arms underneath it just about the time it hits the ground. And completion for 3rd and about a long 2 or 3.
3rd and 3. Pierce is back in the backfield again, and he's going to get it. And this time he breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage again, spins around, moves up to midfield. It's almost impossible to stop Mark Pierce at the line of scrimmage. That will be a first down. You know, that pass there to Kane Riddle, Don, that is the same pass that they broke for 42 yards a couple of weeks ago against Burleson, and it was Shanahan that caught it. And we might add that Andrew Shanahan is not in tonight. I think he had an intestinal infection or something along those lines. Is that right, Don?
Yeah, just a stomach bug. So you got to fight it off.
Here's one that will go to
Hudson this time.
Garrett, and Garrett Hudson taking a direct handoff on the right side for about 3 or 4 yards. They really like that dive play when they get in that formation there. They ran it several times or 2 weeks ago against Burleson. They ran that with Shanahan a couple of times, and also Carlisle. Garrett Hudson now will be a wingman to the left side, and Pierce will be in the backfield. 2nd down and 6. This will go to Pierce. Gets a yard or two. Going has been rather tough up the middle. Of course, Pierce just broke about a 50-yard run that did come back, but otherwise, between the tackles there, not much yardage against this Castleberry team. We'll have a 3rd down and 5. The ball is at the 45. 7-0 is the score. The Weatherford Kangaroos are leading. 9:04 to go. We're in the second quarter. 1 man in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left side. Here is Moore spinning around. He's going to throw a pass that will go over the head of Colt Borland. And again, Colt cut that one off short. And what they're supposed to do there, I think they're both are supposed to read that defensive back. And when they read that defensive back, they decide, hopefully, on doing the same thing. But that time, Colt cut it off short, and Zach threw it long. So 4th down, the ball at the 45, and the Roos really need to punt here. Let's see what they'll do. It doesn't look like they're going to punt. Now they're going to come out. They're going to go for it. Apparently, they've got 4 receivers out. A wingman to the right side. Here's Zach Moore. He's going to go back to pass, and he shoots one downfield. A long pass down around the 25 that will go over the head of Garrett Hudson. And so the Roos are going to give this up in pretty good field position at the 45. They really have to have, Don, a lot of faith in their defense to run that play.
Well, maybe they're just going to play with a real high level of intensity here. Want to try to go ahead and keep the ball if they can. They're in Castleberry's end of the field, near midfield at the 45. But, your chances even at that position is kicking it into the end zone and having them start on the 20. So.
Well, Castleberry is not a team that you want to hang around. We found that out last year. You want to put them away if you can. Split backfield. Here is the quarterback. He's going to keep the ball. Running around the left side, has a little hole. A nice ankle tackled by the tackle. That was
Jared Tidwell,
who came out there. And boy, when you have tackles that can take off down the line of scrimmage and run with a quarterback and then make an ankle tackle like that, you have got a football player, and Tidwell is definitely a very fine football player. Gain of about 6 or 7 yards. The ball is across midfield. They're going to place it just inside the 49-yard of Weatherford. And had Tidwell not been there, that would have been a long gain. 8:10 remaining in the second period, and here is a timeout call. Let's take a timeout from Kangaroo Stadium. Weatherford 7, Castleberry nothing. We'll be right back in a minute.
Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep. Well, duh. That's what happens when you get stoned.
Teamwork. That's what it's all about in football. The teams that win championships always work together. It's the same in banking. The folks at First National Bank of Weatherford work together as a team to provide the best service possible. We're the best bank in town because of teamwork. We treat all our customers as a VIP because to us, everyone is important. Come by today and see what teamwork can do for you at the First National Bank of Weatherford. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Here at Green's Florist, we strive to please our customers. Come by and see our large selection of silks, plants, cut flowers, balloons, and novelty items. Established in 1957, we're the oldest family-owned florist in Weatherford, having over 55 years of combined experience with a friendly and knowledgeable staff. We're located at 701 North Main. Give us a call at 594-2733, and we send flowers worldwide.
8 minutes and 7 seconds to go. We're in the second period. The Kangaroos are leading at 7-0 over Castleberry. It's homecoming night tonight in Kangaroo Stadium. And, Kangaroo Stadium, Don Legale, is one of the first stadiums to have lights in the area. They ran it east and west. It was one of the first stadiums to have the field go east and west. All of the earlier stadiums before lights were basically north and south. Here's a big hole for Thompson, the running back for Castleberry moves across the 40, across the 35, and all the way down to around the 34-yard line. And Thompson has been able to find a few holes.
Yeah, they're really persecuting the left side of our defense. I know the coaches are down there trying to figure out, all right, what adjustments do we need to make our way happen against this blocking scheme that's working over on the left side of our line.
Well, they have found some holes over there, and I think that might be where they have their top lineman. That is Quint Bedford, and also Stacy Childress has done a good job. We're going to have another timeout now with a first down at the 34. We're going to keep it right here as the Kangaroos lead it 7-0. We were talking about Kangaroo Stadium, Don. Kangaroo Stadium originally built in 1949 and was one of the first stadiums to have lights. The old stadiums went north and south, and that's because they didn't want anybody looking directly into the sun. The games were played in the afternoon back then, or on Saturdays or Saturday mornings, and one team would always be looking into the sun. And you know, Hank Grimminger, who was from Weatherford and also played at Baylor and played at Green Bay, the Green Bay Packers up in Lambeau Field. He said that this was one of the best fields he ever played on when he was here at Weatherford.
Well, he liked this situation then.
Well, the Kangaroo defense has got to stiffen up here. They gave up a long run to Dustin Kirkland to begin the game against Burleson last couple of weeks ago, and they tightened up very well after that. Here we go. Here's the handoff that will go inside. This one is to Adrian Martinez, coming around from the left halfback slot and getting 3 or 4 yards, maybe the 31-yard line. Let's call it the 31. You know, you can be nice to your opponents. They only had, the Kangaroos only had 10 men on the field on that long run by Dustin Kirkland. But that, to me, is carrying it a little too far.
Well, we'll try not to make that mistake again.
Yeah, come on, guys. Let's get 11 men out on the field. You see that even in the pros a lot. Here's the handoff. It's fumbled, and it is picked up by the Roos as it's fumbled in the backfield. Thompson could not get his hands on it. There is Cashin Carlisle to get it for the Kangaroos. So another fumble here by Castleberry, and that is their second one here in the first half, and the Roos have got the ball at their own 34. You know, we were talking about being nice to your opponent. Grimminger said that in one game against Breckenridge, this was back during the 50s when Breckenridge was one of the top teams in the state, they were 3 touchdowns ahead of Weatherford. They punted the ball to Breckenridge, and the Breckenridge player just turned around and punted it right back. He said he had never seen that in a game before. I don't think I've ever seen it ever. Here's a handoff to Mark Pierce across the 35. He'll get about a yard, and Pierce has found the going very tough. And this is what we said about Castleberry. They're a team of tough, stout players that are hard to move out of there.
Yeah, well, what you see is the interior of the line is still pretty clogged up with bodies, and Pierce is trying to find a place to step where he's not stepping on somebody's back, trying to get up into the get a little bit yardage down the field.
Well, I'm sure too, Don, the Castleberry players have been watching film for 2 weeks here on how to stop Mark Pierce. Here's a pitch out. This one will get a little bit as Pierce gets initially beyond the first player that came in. Kevin Cole tried to stop him. But again, maybe a yard there for Mark. The ball is up around the 38-yard line. We're down to 6:15 in the second period, 7-0. Weatherford is leading. And the Roos have a 3rd down and 7 needed. They'll bring 2 receivers to the left side. Mark Pierce is the one man in the backfield. Zach Moore goes under. He goes back to pass, looking to the right side, has a quick pass out there on the slant end to Borland. It's off his fingertips, and they will have to punt again. So the Castleberry Lions come in, and their defense has been playing rather well so far.
Well, we want to not misfire anymore on those passes. Complete that pass, we're up plenty far enough upfield for a first down, but I think the decision when we've got the ball on the 37-yard line, 38-yard line, we want to punt that ball away.
Well, Garrett Hudson will go back, and he's done marvelously this year punting. Here's the punt. Just gets it off. Nice punt against the wind. Lands at the 30. It's going to bounce to the 25 and will be down around the 23-yard line of Castleberry. So a good punt of over 40 yards against the wind. And that is very important field position there for Weatherford. They could have been in trouble had Garrett let that one slide off the side of his foot. And we talked about Michael Branch being back and Danny Merritt coming back in the lineup this week. The Roos are rather healthy right now. Of course, Andrew Shanahan is not in tonight. 1st and 10 for the Lions. The ball at the 23 on their own end. Here's Thompson with a good, hard run across the 30, and Thompson is a good running back. Gains about 7 yards on that play, and they continually, Don, go to the right side of the Kangaroo defense.
Yeah, they're working off of their left side and the Roo defense right side. They got to a couple of the linebackers there, I think Boney and Darrell Clay in on those on the tackle there. But he does pick up a nice yardage on 1st down, looking at only 2nd and 3.
Well, the left guard over there is Clint Thedford, and 55 is Clifton Atkins for Castleberry. 2nd down, and here's Thompson just bowling his way forward again on the left side of the line for the Lions across the 40-yard line. They're probably going to mark this right at the 40-yard line. It will be a 1st down, 4:51. And so far, that has been the play of the game for the Castleberry Lions. Give it to Thompson. Let him go off left guard or left tackle and hit the right side of the Kangaroo defense. They haven't busted open a long one, but they have been able to pick up 5 yards or so several times. 1st and 10, split backfield. Here's a new quarterback that has just come in. He's running around back there. He's going to get away from a couple of men and get across the 35 and up to around the 37 before he's run out of bounds. Jonathan Richardson has just come in. Jonathan Richardson is a sophomore.
Wilkie in on the tackle. We got a flag down on the field. Might look for a holding call, and that's what it is, a holding call against Castleberry Lions. And so that'll move them back. Going to be almost 2nd and 20.
Well, you know, Chuck Wilkie came back in against Burleson after that appendectomy. And, you know, anytime a doctor comes in, Don, and he has the word ectomy on his lips, you better be careful, because that means he's going to take something out or he's going to cut something off. And you better find out what it is.
Yeah, that's probably Latin for cut.
You know, might cut something off that you might need later on, you know. Like an arm or a leg.
Roos decide to accept the penalty. Put the Castleberry Lions back at the 25-yard line for a 1st and 20.
And you know, Branch had that burned arm, which kept him out. So we've had some unusual happenings.
Or at least there was no ectomy involved.
There was no ectomy in that. 1st and 10 for Castleberry, or rather 1st and 20 now. And here's one up the middle. This will go to Martinez. Martinez will get perhaps 5 yards across the 30-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 15 for Castleberry. 4:06 to go. It's just 7-0 right now. Roos started out like they were going to move up and down the field at will, but Castleberry had some other designs on that, and their defense has stiffened up.
Well, I've already seen 3 turnovers, too.
2nd down. The quarterback is Jonathan Richardson now. And he hands it off to Thompson, and Thompson finds a hole. This time he goes to the right side, gets across the 40-yard line and around the 43 before he is downed. As the Roos now will have to hold Castleberry with a 3rd and 2. They'll have to get to the 45-yard line on their own end for the 1st down. The Roo defense, well, you're right so far, Don Legale. They have not yet given up a point. You said they would shut Castleberry out. This time they have a full backfield. Looks like a split T back there. Goes to the fullback Thompson. He's met right at the 40. That was a beautiful tackle. It will be, I believe, a 1st down, though. And I think Clay is the one that came in there and met Thompson, and he met him hard, but Thompson had a full head of steam up and was able to kind of slide off that tackle and get that extra yard that was needed for a 1st down. And Thompson's not feeling too healthy right now. Boy, that was a good stick. You like to see a guy come in.
He might have had it even on penetration right there, but it was nice to see him met strongly as soon as he stepped by the line.
So Castleberry in 3 plays overcomes that penalty, and they have a 1st down at their own 46. 2 men in the backfield. Here's the quarterback rolling out to the left side. He's going to be stormed under and finally tries to get the ball away as he tried to pass it over on the left side, but Craig Boney was all over
I'll
it.
tell you, let's give the credit here. Michael Branch had fought off his blocker and got his hands on Richardson. Is it Richardson out there? But couldn't hold on to him long enough. He broke free and then flipped the ball somewhere upfield, and there must have been some sort of legal receiver somewhere near that ball, because it looked like a tip ball in volleyball. You know, we're just going to tup it up in the air.
Yeah, Craig Boney thought he was going to get an interception there, and Mauricio Marin was also back in the backfield. And Branch, from his defensive end position, was just right on top of the quarterback as soon as he rolled to the left. We're going to have a second down play. And I think we're going to have a quick timeout. So let's go ahead and take a timeout right here. We'll be right back in just a minute. You're listening to Weatherford Kangaroo Football on KZ 1220, your sports center.
That's your program number.
Honey, can you pay these bills? It won't take you very long if you use Texas Banker Online.
Sure. Girls, I'll be right back.
Texas Banker Online, a simple and secure way to bank over the internet with no service charge. Now you can pay bills quickly and conveniently from the comfort of your own home with Texas Banker Online.
That was quick.
Yeah, that Texas Banker Online is really simple. Whose turn is it anyways?
Texas Banker Online, a product from Texas Bank. Plug in now.
Those who dive lightly into the market today soon discover that when opportunities swim side by side with peril, it is easy to lose all sense of direction. The riskier the investment environment, the more you need the fixed income strategies of Cummer Moyers Capital Advisors. Is your investment advisor recommending Cummer Moyers for $19.99? Cummer Moyers, managing money, earning trust.
Pizza place, this is Egan. May I help you?
On June the 1st, 1976, it was my opportunity to walk in the front door of the pizza place in Weatherford, Texas. At that time, you could get the lunch special, which is a small cheese pizza, a salad, and a drink for only 95 cents. There's been a lot of things that have changed in Weatherford, Texas in the last 23 years, but there's one thing that's always remained constant. The pizza place and the Weatherford Kangaroos have always been a perfect combination.
2 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the second quarter. The Weatherford Kangaroos are leading the Castleberry Lions on homecoming night. 7-0. A 29-yard pass from Zach Moore to Garrett Hudson. 7:01 to go in the first quarter is when that took place, and that's been the only scoring in the first half. Kangaroos have had a couple of chances. They did fumble once deep in Castleberry territory. The Lions have also fumbled a couple of times. They have the ball right now at their own 46. It'll be second down and 10. 2 men in the backfield. Now they bring their other quarterback back in, and he shoots a pass out to the right side that is complete. Rolling over after that catch is Sean Harbour. Sean Harbour is a two-way starter for the Lions, and he catches that across midfield at the 48 of Weatherford. Not enough for a first down. Still about 3.5 to go. Craig Boney coming back in. Mauricio Marin coming back in. Such comes out. Also Garrett Hudson coming out. Third down and 3.5. Split backfield. 2 receivers to the right side. Rolling to the right is Ward. He gets a pass off. This one will be incomplete. That pass was thrown out of bounds. And over there defending for the Kangaroos is number 28, Mike McDaniel. And I think Mike McDaniel is back for the first time too, Don.
Yeah, this is his first game back. He had to take off to get some eligibility straightened out, and he's all straightened out now. Good to see him back in. He's going to give Borland a little break on the left side cornerback position because we've got Borland going on the offense too. So good to have some more fresh legs there on the deep secondary.
4th down and 4. You might watch for a fake with this kind of field position. But here is the snap, and they will kick it, and it's a line drive kick. This will be caught by Hudson at the 17, 20, 25, 30. He's at the 35, 40. He's at the 45. He's at midfield. He is 40, 20, 10. He's taking it all the way in for a Roo touchdown. Do you you see any flags out there, Don? I don't see a flag anywhere.
Hooray, no flags.
Whoa, that is a long one. I believe he caught that at the 17-yard line. He made several great moves along the way. He came to his left. There were a couple of good blocks out there. And then around the 30, he broke through a wave of the Castleberry Lions. And then he was spun around up there around the 45 or around midfield. He broke through that. And then after he broke that last tackle, there were a couple of roos right there beside him on the 45-yard line of Castleberry. And he went all the way in for a touchdown. The kick goes up, but it is no good, as McClure sends this one to the left side, but it is 13-0 on a 83-yard punt return by Garrett Hudson. We'll be right back right after this.
They just don't want to.
I think a lot of kids smoke pot.
I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't.
Why do I have to be so
Different.
different? Maybe we're not as different as we think.
First National Bank of Weatherford is excited about the 1999 Weatherford High School season. Since 1880, the First National Bank of Weatherford has provided friendly and reliable service to the folks in Weatherford and surrounding area. We wish all of the players, cheerleaders, band members, and fans success in all they do in 1999. Come by and visit with your personal banker at First National Bank of Weatherford, member FDIC and equal housing lender. In the early 1900s through the 1950s, Weatherford was known as the watermelon capital of the world. Farmers brought wagon loads of large melons to sell to visitors passing through the square. The watermelon that most people remember being in Weatherford was this one on the south side of the square, constructed for a parade around the courthouse. Weatherford was the watermelon capital of the world.
Well, Garrett Hudson just brought this homecoming crowd to their feet, Don. That was a beautiful punt return. 83 yards. That's the longest one, I'm sure, in a long time.
Well, there was no straight line anywhere to go. He had to run a lot of zigzag pattern, and the Roos kept up their blocking assignments and kept knocking the Castleberry Lions out of the way until Hudson could get clear.
13-0, and Jeremy McClure sends Wilson back to around the 4-yard line, and there is Christopher Ward with it, the 20, 25. He has a good hole up the middle, 35, and up near the 40-yard line before he's finally down. Jeremy McClure was there, and also Barrett Weaver in on the tackle. So this is good field position, but only 1:25 to go for the Castleberry Lions, and now they're down 13-0. And you said we almost had a penalty there on that return. You know, we've had so many long plays called back, Don. The first thing you look for is that yellow flag down on the field.
You start getting excited and you end up pushing a guy from behind instead of being in front of him.
Here is the first pass that will go incomplete over the head of Sean Harbour, who had ran an out pattern on the right side. Good. As Christopher Ward is back in at quarterback, they have been rotating their quarterbacks here lately, bringing in Jonathan Richardson.
Good pressure, the defensive end on the left side. Jeremy Day was in the quarterback's face and had his hands up in the passing lane.
You know, Jeremy Day, he can get up there very high, and I expect to see him block a lot of passes before this year's over. Here is the next pass, and here is the quarterback, and he's going to be down as quickly.
Safford.
Coming in is Safford from his tackle position. And boy, he was back there about the time that Christopher Ward made his last step to get in position to throw the ball. That'll be a loss of about 7 yards all the way back to the 32.
Now he broke through his block real quickly and got latched onto his legs.
Well, you know, Safford is the wrestler, and I had to explain to Mark Ribby last week the difference between a wrestler and wrestling, Sunday morning wrestling. It's, you know, two different things. And I think Mark Reevy got that down, but this is another timeout being called with 52 seconds to go. Let's go ahead and take 30 seconds right here, and we'll be right back with more Kangaroo football right after this.
Honey, can you pay these bills? It won't take you very long if you use Texas Banker Online.
Sure. Girls, I'll be right back.
Texas Banker Online, a simple and secure way to bank over the internet with no service charge. Now you can pay bills quickly and conveniently from the comfort of your own home with Texas Banker Online.
That was quick.
Yeah, that Texas Banker Online is really simple. Whose turn is it anyways?
Texas Banker Online, a product from Texas Bank. Plug in now.
Dennis Connolly and Associates at Weatherford Physical Therapy have been serving and supporting Parker County since 1982. Their new location is at 1404 South Main, next to the Golden Moon. Weatherford's only privately owned rehabilitation clinic specializing in physical, occupational, and speech therapy. The latest equipment demonstrates their commitment to quality personal care. For all your sports medicine, spine, and orthopedic rehab needs, call 341-3600. Weatherford Physical Therapy Services.
Hi, I'm Shannon Carney, and this is my sister Stacy of Vic Cressman and Carney.
Hi, this is Laura Crestman from Vic Cressman and Carney.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Vick of Vic Cressman and Carney.
Together, we are Vic Cressman and Carney, and we support the Kangaroos.
Oh yeah, there is that other Vic Cressman and Carney, and they support the Roos too.
Welcome back to Kangaroo football. We're in Kangaroo Stadium tonight on homecoming night. The Kangaroos are leading Castleberry Lions 13-0. Here is the snap back for Castleberry, and spinning around and losing the ball is the quarterback, and I believe that the Kangaroos have got it at the 30-yard line, and that is the third fumble recovery for Weatherford. Don, who jumped on that one?
Well, we had another sack in progress. Michael Branch had the quarterback in his hands, and as he put his hands on him, he stripped him of the ball. And 84 Jeremy Day fell on the ball. He was kind of sitting on it. So we've got the ball on the 31-yard line. 47 seconds left in the second quarter.
See if the Roos can take advantage of this. Here's Zach Moore back. He has four receivers out. Looks to the left side. Throws a pass that is just off the fingertips, and that's to Chad Legale. Chad running an out pattern just inside of the 30-yard line there. We'll have a second down play as the Roos will try to take advantage of a mistake here by Castleberry. And we have a question on this play. They'll have an illegal procedure call against Weatherford, and that will move them back 5 yards. We haven't had a rash of penalties against Weatherford in this game like we've seen in a couple of the previous games, but they did have a long touchdown run by Mark Pierce called back. And the ball will be placed outside the 35-yard line. 43 seconds left in the first half of play. And Zach Moore is in the huddle now calling the play. And let's see what they do with Mark Pierce coming out now as a wide receiver. On the left side, Moore is in the shotgun. He looks to the right side and he throws one downfield. That will be over the shoulder of Cashin Carlisle around the 10-yard line. And it looked like for a moment that Cashin was going to be able to turn around and catch that one over his back shoulder, but just could not get his hands on it. 39 seconds left, and we'll have a fourth down play. It should be a third down play, I believe. They've got second down marked over there, so let's see. That will be.
We had a first down.
Yeah, we had a penalty on that first play, so it will be second down. And we've got two receivers, left and right. Again, the shotgun for Zach Moore. He goes back, looking this time to the left side. Lost one, very high. Mark Pierce has it at the 5. He's in for the touchdown. How about that? Well,
that worked out good. The pass was underthrown, lifted high in the air. Pierce could look back and see where the ball was, so he stopped. The defensive man took 2 more steps and fell down. Pierce caught it, then took 3 big giant steps, and he's in the end zone.
Well, you know, you see that happen quite a bit with the 2 guys running down the sideline, the ball being thrown short, and the receiver sees the ball faster than the defensive man, and so he reacts to it. The defensive man trying to catch up with the play, tries to get back in position, and he slips down. And so he was down on the 5-yard line when Mark Pierce caught that ball, and Mark Pierce just caught it, turned around, trotted right into the end zone, and suddenly it is 19-0, Don Legale.
Well, they're building up that 40-point score, I'm telling you, going to happen here.
And how long was that pass play?
36 yards. We're at the 36-yard line for that play.
And it happened with only 31 seconds to go in the second quarter. And the Roos are up 19-0 now. And let's see if they will go for 2 points. They're all over talking to Coach McBroom. We want to thank our Weatherford Kangaroo sponsors. Job Site Sales, Roger Williams, First National Bank, Weatherford Democrat, Custom Homes by Noah. Roger Williams again, Taco Bueno, Weatherford Municipal Utilities, Hartness Printing, Sonic, Whataburger, Lone Star Furniture, Malt Shop, Weatherford Physical Therapy, Southwest Ford, First National Bank, Unlimited Tinting, Jerry's Chevrolet, Weatherford Municipal Utilities. Did I mention them before? Yes, I did. The Malt Shop, Mesquite Pit. And that is a number of our Weatherford Kangaroo sponsors. And we thank all of you for supporting the Kangaroos in 1999. Kangaroos will go for 2 points here. Ball is placed at the 3. They'll have an offset eye backfield. The pitch out will go to Pierce. He's looking for a block. Now he throws a quick pass, and it's just over the head of Chad Legale, who was standing down there in the corner. Now he was all by himself, and he got a hand on it, but just couldn't hold on. So the score will remain 19-0. Let's go ahead and keep it right here. Don Legale, a mistake there by the Castleberry Lions certainly hurt as they gave up the ball. There was less than a minute to go when they gave it up on that fumble. And the Roos came right out and started passing the ball right and left, and then found Mark Pierce down there standing by himself at the 5-yard line or around the 7-yard line as the defender had fallen down. And suddenly Castleberry went from being in the game now to being down 19-0.
Well, one of the things I didn't get to note before the game, but I'd written down that I was really going to expect some big plays out of the Weatherford defense, and we've seen that. 3 fumbles recovered here. And also we've seen a big play on the special teams. Punt return for a touchdown. And if Castleberry had any hope of staying in this game with the Kangaroos, they could not be victimized by the big play. But the Roos are coming up with the big plays, and so we got a nice lead here as we get near the end of the second quarter.
Well, Castleberry, we might add, has a lot of 2-way performers out there, and you have to think that they have to stay up early with Weatherford because you can't see them coming from behind and scoring a lot late with all the 2-way players that they will have on the field. Here is a squib kick, and it bounces off of one of the Castleberry players at the 30 and still on the ground at the 29, and then finally jumping on it is Kevin Cole for Castleberry. 22 seconds are remaining, and the Lions will have a shot here. Let's see if they will try to score or if they will just run out the time here before half. The ball is at the 28-yard line. And the Roos are going to have some of their defensive men back a little deep here just to make sure. Garrett Hudson is in there, also Barrett Weaver, Chuck Wilkie on the right side. There's Borland, the linebackers. Such and Jeremy McClure, who comes up to the left side now of the line. And the handoff goes to Thompson, and jumping on him quickly is Clay, and I mean Clay. And he looked like a Black Widow spider jumping on a bug there. And down went Thompson quickly, a gain of about 2 or 3 yards. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and this will run it on out. That is the end of the first half, and a good half it was here on homecoming night. For the Kangaroos, they've got a 19-0 lead over Castleberry. Don and I will be back for the half. We'll give you some of the statistics that we have, and we will also have some commentary right after we pause for these messages.
I'm Troy Noel. I was married to Brad Noel, the singer of Sublime. Brad died of a heroin overdose. Jake's been robbed of having a wonderful person to be his father. Educate yourself. Heroin kills, period. We miss him, and we'll miss him forever, and don't let anyone miss you.
Weatherford National Bank, growing with Weatherford. We started in College Park and continued to expand into 5 offices located throughout Weatherford and Aledo. No matter where you live, chances are that you are close to one of our offices. Take advantage of our customer-friendly services, free checking with overdraft protection, full-service mortgage department, extended lobby hours, and even Saturday banking. Weatherford National Bank. We kept growing until we became a part of Weatherford's history. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Trinity Paint and Body, owned by Bo Winstead, is located at 1600 Fort Worth Highway. They are known for their fast and superior service. Since opening in April of 1998, they are already having to expand their existing location due to the high volume of business. For great hometown service and a friendly staff, call Trinity Paint and Body, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. And remember, for high-quality service, Bo knows.
And we're ready for the kickoff. And it goes bouncing down to around the 12-yard line, and it's picked up by Garrett Hudson across the 15 to the 20, 25, and the 30, and out to the 35-yard line. Garrett Hudson finding a hole on the right side, and to go as we start the third quarter. We'll have the ball. They'll be traveling against this very stiff breeze that's blowing in from the southeast as they will move from west to east here at Kangaroo Stadium. And it was, I don't think our fans listening tonight missed anything of that halftime, Don Legale, because you had it all right there written down. Here's the first snap, and it's a pitch out that goes wild, and Mark Pierce has the ball way back around the 15, and the ball is knocked out of his hands at the 15, but one of the Roos coming up quickly does fall on it. Thank goodness for that, and that play did not work too well as the pitch out went wide of Pierce, and they will lose from the 35 all the way back to the 17-yard line.
A bad situation for the Roos. The Castleberry defense got in quickly on Moore, and when he went to pitch, I don't know if it might have gotten touched by the Castleberry Lions, but the pitch went behind Pierce, and he had to scramble for it.
Second down and long yardage here. Here's a pitch out again to Pierce. He's going to reverse his field. Going back the other way, tries to cut inside again, gets to around the 20-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 3 yards for Mark Pierce. And we'll have a third down and about 14 yards to go for Weatherford from their own 20-yard line. And a rather unauspicious start here, Don Legale, in the third quarter for the Kangaroos.
Well, we want to improve on these results.
And this is a passing down, but we might see a draw play or something like that from Weatherford to try to fool them a little bit. And this is a handoff that will go to the left side to Cash and Carlisle. It's not going to get anything. Quickly over there are a couple of the Lions, and they close that one off. Number 20, David Newman, was there, and also number 67 was out there. That was Clint Bedford. So the Roos will have to give it up from their own 20 on the first possession here in the third quarter, and Garrett Hudson will go back to punt. Back deep is Sean Harbour for Castleberry, standing just inside the midfield stripe on the Weatherford side. And now the Kangaroos are going to call a timeout here and talk about it for a minute, as perhaps they didn't have enough men on the field.
Well, that'd be a disaster at this point. Let's make sure we got 11 guys on the field for this play. We're deep in our own territory.
Certainly don't want to go back to punt and not know exactly what's going on or what you want to do. You want to make sure everybody's in proper position, because that could be a play that could turn the game entirely around. We had some updates. I think we had an update on the Boyd score with Bridgeport. That's 17-0 right now in favor of Boyd. And Glen Rose and Aledo all tied up at 14. Kangaroos are back out there on the field. They've got on the black pants, and we might see the black pants throughout district play. I just assume they wear those black pants all year long. Don, they look nice. The black and blue kind of goes with the Kangaroo team this year. They put the black and blue on everyone. And let's see if the defense will be able to hold Castleberry, because Castleberry is probably going to get the ball in Kangaroo territory. There's the snap. It's low but fielded. And there is another beautiful punt. And it will bounce just on the Castleberry side of midfield. And then it will be down by Shane Weeks. Shane Weeks at the 50-yard line downs it. And that's where Castleberry will start with 1st and 10.
The only thing that could have been better about that punt is if it had bounced away, bounced deeper into Castleberry territory. It sure went in the air a long way. In fact, we lost 4 yards on the bounce back toward the roof side of the field.
It just bounced right straight up in the air, came down. And now let's see if this Kanga Crunch defense can get the job done. They have so far against Castleberry. Castleberry not able to get a drive going. Here's the handoff to the left side. Again, that is Thompson. Off left tackle for 6 yards across the 45 down to the 44 of Weatherford.
Craig Boney coming in on the tackle from the other opposite side linebacker position. They're still working that left, right off the left end. I think about 3/4 of their play have been running plays off the left end of their offensive line.
And that's really where almost all of their yardage has come from in this game. They'll have a split backfield, receivers left and right for Castleberry.
There it is again.
Again, Thompson cuts inside of Cashin Carlisle, who tried to get him right at the line of scrimmage, and then jumps forward for a couple of more yards. He's close to the point needed. He's going to be a little short at the 41-yard line of Weatherford. So we'll have a 3rd down and 1 for Castleberry. Garrett Hudson is out there, also Wilkie, Cole Borland in the backfield. There's Darrell Clay, Cashin Carlisle, and Boney, the linebackers, and the strong safety, and also Jeremy McClure on the left side. Here is the quarterback. He will keep it across the 40, 35, down to the 30-yard line, as this time they had everyone looking for number 33, Thompson, as he faked into the line. And the quarterback for the Lions just kept it and went right around the left end and picks up some good yardage. And it will be 1st and 10 at the Weatherford 28-yard line now. And that was Christopher Ward, who has been their quarterback most of the way through. We saw Richardson come in for a while, but lately it's been Christopher Ward. Split backfield. Ward will go to the right side and run with it. Not much out there right now as Clay is over there, and also Boney get him at the 30. We have a penalty flag down. It will be procedure against Castleberry. The Lions will be moved back here. And again, we have spoken about the huge crowd here tonight, and it seems to be getting larger and larger all the time as we had all of the homecoming festivities. And who was the homecoming queen, Don Legale?
Katie Keeney.
Katie Keeney.
And Amanda Brown, the runner-up homecoming queen tonight.
And Amanda Brown, we watched her play.
I'll tell you, Katie did her job over the volleyball game earlier, too.
Right. And Amanda Brown's a basketball player.
Very good basketball player.
We have a 1st down and 5 as the penalty was called against Weatherford, so it must have been offsides. I didn't see the call there, Don. 1st and 5. Here's the quarterback, Ward, passes it inside on a slant in that's complete at the 15-yard line. And coming in was C.J. Harden. Now, C.J. Harden played a role on this team the last couple of years, but that is the first time we have called his name tonight. And that will be a first down at the Roo 14 as the Roos come out and have a big loss on their first play. Loss of about 18 yards on a pitch out that went awry, and have not recovered from that as the Lions got the ball right at the midfield stripe and they've moved it on down. Here's one that won't go. There's a handoff to, I believe, 21. Yeah, that is Adrian Martinez, and in the backfield is Craig Boney.
Well, let's credit Jeremy McClure. Scott Safford at the bottom got a hold of his legs, and Jeremy McClure stood him up, threw him backwards.
And Jeremy McClure has been an outstanding linebacker this year. And, of course, he's also been an outstanding kicker. 7:11 to go in the third quarter. The Roos are on top. Here's a handoff to Thompson. Gets across the 15. Again, he goes off left tackle. Shane Weeks gets him by the ankle right at the line of scrimmage. Branch was also in the backfield for the Kangaroos. And that little Shane Weeks, he is a heck of a ball player. You know, he uses his body as a projectile out there quite a bit. And he has good quick recognition. You can see him.
Well, see, that time they were ready at the line over there on the left side and didn't let him get past the line without getting touched.
Third down
big
play.
Rush.
Here is the quarterback back to pass. He shoots one into the left side just inside the 5-yard line. That will be incomplete, as rolling over there was Jonathan Forrester, but the ball was thrown short, and we had a good rush put over the Kangaroos. And we'll have a fourth down play from the Kangaroo 18. Well, the ball is at the 13-yard line.
4th and 9, 19 points down. Do you go for a field goal or try to put bigger points on the board?
They have got to go for some points here, down by 3 touchdowns, and they are. Again, we'll see the pro set backfield. Here's the quarterback, Ward, going back, finds a receiver at the 5, but it's broken up, and over there to break it up is Wilkie. Wilkie right in front of it. Also, Bourne was there.
Shane Weeks also in on breaking up that pass. I think he had maybe the best chance of catching the ball, but it falls incomplete, so the Roos will take over on downs at the 13-yard line.
So Kanga Crunch comes through again, and they stop the Lions at their own 13. And Zach Moore will lead out the offense now. 6:22 to go in the third quarter. And now's the time for the Roos to go on a long drive. And we don't care if it's 1 play or 10 plays, Don Legale. Here's a inside fake. Zach Moore still got the ball to the outside, gets across the 15, and is up to the 20-yard line before he's upended there on a tackle by Sean Harbour. And when he fakes inside to Pierce, that certainly freezes those linebackers of the opposition. They have to wait and see if Pierce has got the ball. And Zach Moore with his speed and quickness, you know, he is so quick. I really think his first few steps might even be faster than Peters. I think Peters might be able to outstride him in a long, say a 100-yard dash or a 100-meter dash, but Zach is so quick on those first few steps. Here's a pitch out to Pierce, right side, 20. He's at the 30. He's at the 40. One man to beat. He's at the 30. He's into his Kanga trot now, and he's going to get this one, folks. He's going all the way in. They're not going to call this one back. Around the right side, and it broke open pretty quickly. He kind of did a little fake inside to fool the right side of the Castleberry defense, and then he just took off, and he broke open around the between the 30 and 40-yard line on the Weatherford side, and then he turned it on. He had one man he had to outrun. I think it was Sean Harbour back there, but
a little bit of a head fake as he kind of makes him think he's going to go inside. Throws a little head fake in there, and then turns the speed around out to the outside, turns the corner, and I tell you, the man was already beaten by the time it was at midfield, and I didn't think he had a chance of catching Mark Pierce the rest of the way out. They're going to go for 2 again.
80-yard run, and here is Zach Moore. He's go to the left side, and it's wide open as he will go for 2. And so now the Kangaroos jump on top 27-0. We'll be right back right after we pause for a minute.
27-0
Your hometown bank teams up with your hometown Kangaroos to provide the support for a successful athletic year at Weatherford High School. Texas Bank, a proud sponsor of the Kangaroo Stadium scoreboard, the sports medicine John Deere Gator, and the new athletic training complex. Texas Bank makes the commitment to our student athletes to place them in the winner's circle. Backing our Kangaroos, banking at Texas Bank. Member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
Minutes and 28 seconds to go here in the third quarter at Kangaroo Stadium. The Kangaroos of Weatherford are leading the Castleberry Lions 27-0, and an outstanding 80-yard run by Mark Pierce, and that one was pretty too, Don Legale. He's just one of those guys that when he gets the ball, he is looking for the end zone no matter where he is on the field. And it's just one of those outstanding traits that some backs have.
Well, let's put that play on the highlight reel because it looked really nice, and the offensive line and all the Roo offensive players took somebody out, so there was nobody there to get him.
Here is a punch kick that will be caught by Sean Harbor at the 33 of the Lions, and that's where they'll start now with 5:23 to go in the third quarter. And I wish I knew who threw the good blocks over there to open that one up. But Mark Pierce has him a long one now. He had one called back earlier in this game, a long run of I can't recall, I think 60 to 65 yards. And now he's got him an 80-yarder, and there was no doubt about that one. Once he broke through about the 40-yard line. Here's a handoff and a hard hit on Thompson right at the line of scrimmage, a gain of a couple of yards. That was Cashin Carlisle who came in and strapped him good. So a gain of 2 for the Lions. They'll have a second down at about 8 from just outside their own 35. And boy, I'll tell you, the downfield blocking has been so good. I saw Michael Ross against Fossil Ridge get 2 outstanding blocks. Rolled over on the first block and then came back. Here's the next play for about a yard or 2 and a nice tackle inside by Safford. I saw Michael Ross block the middle linebacker. This was on the long drive we had against Fossil Ridge in the third quarter to get back on top. Then he jumped up, and there was Zach Moore with the ball right beside him. They ran downfield another 10 yards, and then Michael Ross wiped out one of the defensive backs for Fossil Ridge, and that's the kind of desire and commitment you have to win. And you can just ask Rabinski and Corey Sullins of Fossil Ridge. He'll tell you about Michael Ross on that play. Third down, 7.5 yards to go. Here's the quarterback rushing to the left side. He's trying to get back to the line of scrimmage and finally does. It appears he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. And he had a number of Roos chasing him down over there. Jason Such was over. So was Cashin Carlisle. And that will not be near enough for a first down as he's run out of bounds around the 38. And Castleberry will have to bring their punter right back out with 4 minutes to go in the third. And the Kangaroos are on top right now by the score of 27-0. And back we'll see Garrett Hudson. He's already run one back for a touchdown in this game. Colt Borland's on the other side. Here is the punt. This punt by Christopher Woodard. And here's Colt Borland at the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Breaks a tackle at midfield. He's at the 40, 35, down to the 31-yard line where he's finally lassoed by the man who punted the ball, Christopher Woodard. Well, what can you say more about these special teams, Don Legale? There is a flag down on the field, but certainly the kicking teams have really done their job this year, and they're getting better every game.
Well, I'll tell you, that was really great, and you know, it wasn't like he was by himself. When he's running around the side there, you see blockers on both sides of him. There's a blocker 5 yards further down on either side of him, so a lot of room.
And he kept sliding out of and slipping out of tackles.
Yeah, well, we got a flag at the 36-yard line that's going to be like a low block, a chop block. So unfortunately, that's going to bring that nice run back. And we're going to have Rue possession of the ball on about their own 49-yard line. But we do have a player down on the field, so we've got a brief timeout while they attend to the player.
Well, let's go ahead and take a timeout. The Kangaroos will have the ball at their own 48, so they did move it from the 20 up to the 48, even with the penalty. So good for field position here for Weatherford. Let's take a break right here. The score 27-0, Weatherford over Castleberry.
Puppy? What do you mean Ground's never coming back? Why does she get to stay up? Where do babies come from?
Did you smoke marijuana when you were my age?
The older they get, the more complicated the questions. Here's how to answer.
First National Bank of Weatherford is excited about the 1999 Weatherford High School season. Since 1880, the First National Bank of Weatherford has provided friendly and reliable service to the folks in Weatherford and surrounding area. We wish all of the players, cheerleaders, band members, and fans success in all they do in 1999. Come by and visit with your personal banker at First National Bank of Weatherford. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
They dress him up like a ghost and he's looking through and it's Halloween and he's walking around like this.
My parents told me to go swimming and I was like, no.
You love watching movies and Blockbuster thinks you should be rewarded for that with Blockbuster Rewards, where the more movies you rent, the more free ones you get. Plus, get a free Blockbuster Favorites movie every month.
He got on top of that bomb just like it was a horse. He was going to ride that rascal all right on into where it was going.
Join Blockbuster Rewards today and go home happy.
Well, that is the second long punt return of the evening for the Kangaroos. The other one, of course, an 83-yarder by Garrett Hudson. And now Colt Borland has a long one. He's going to lose some yardage on it, but he did move it out from the 20 to the 48 after the penalty. And 1st and 10 for the Roos now. They lead it 27-0. 3:44 to go in the third. Zach Moore, quick pass out to Pierce. Gets away from the first man. Another one. Now he cuts to his right across the 40. 35. Down to the 33. And what another spectacular run there by Mark Pierce. He caught it out in a flat. The first man tried to get him around the ankles. He got away from that. Then he got away from another man. And Mark Pierce just continues to shine. He's just an outstanding running back and also an outstanding receiver, Don Legale.
Great job there. 17, 18 yards on the pass play, and all of it after he caught the ball.
Well, that is a first down. A lot of yardage passing tonight for the Roos, and you like to see that. Ball is at the 33 of Castleberry. They'll have the offset I backfield, and Kane Riddle will be to the left side. Here's a handoff to Pierce, and again, the first man can't get him, but this time he gets clogged up, and he's going to be stopped for a loss as the pursuit catches up with him behind the 35 of Castleberry. Let's call it the 38, so that'll be a loss of about 4 or 5 yards. We'll have a second down and 15 And they used a little misdirection there. They had the strong side to the left side, and Pierce took the handoff and went immediately to the right. Now here's the shotgun. 4 receivers out for Weatherford. Kane Riddle is in the backfield with Zach Moore. Here's a pass that was supposed to be a slant in, but pulling up short was Pierce. That will go incomplete. We'll have a 3rd down and 15 for Weatherford at the Castleberry 38.
Again, somebody reading differently than Moore did, and pass thrown to where no one is waiting to receive it.
Probably the offensive line, we haven't said a whole lot about the offensive line tonight, but they have certainly given Zach Moore time to throw.
Oh, he's got all day back there to throw.
And Tion is in on the left side as the left guard, and Joe Hash, of course, is in. Here's the quick pass to Pierce, goes inside, gets across the 35, down to the 30. Boy, he is tough to bring down. Down to the 29-yard line, and we'll have a 4th down play, and I'm sure that the Kangaroos, with a 27-0 lead and 2:12 to go in the 3rd quarter, will just go ahead and go for it here. They need 6.5 yards, and here they come out again in the shotgun. They'll have 2 receivers left, 2 right. And Kane Riddle will be a wing on the right side. And one of the Kangaroos, or a couple of the Kangaroo linemen, jump.
Well, I think we may have had contact. We'll see what the referees decide, but we may have had contact over on the left side. The defense moved. The defense moved before the Roos did, so it'll be dead ball foul, offsides encroachment against the Lions. That's going to make it 4th and 1 instead of 4th and 6.
You're absolutely right, Don Legale. 5 yards, stepped off against Castleberry, and in comes Colt Borland, in comes Jake Weber. We've seen Weber get some good time in. He also plays some defensive end. Now Kane Riddle coming back in for the Kangaroos. They'll have a 4th and just over 1 yard to go. Wonder if they'll give it to Mr. Pierce here, Don.
Might be a different decision than when it was 4th and 6.
They'll
different
have
lineup.
One man in the backfield, that's Pierce. And here's Zach. He gets it across the line of scrimmage. He breaks into the clear at the 10. He's at the 5. He's in for another Roo touchdown. Oh, that was beautiful. And that time the fake fooled everyone, as Pierce looked like he had that ball going into the center of the line, and that's what you would expect Castleberry to go after.
I'll tell you what.
And then he got away from a couple of guys right at the line of scrimmage just on a great cut.
We saw the hurdling ability too there. He had somebody about at the 24-yard line there that he needed to get over, and so he just hurdled him.
So that is a 25-yard run by Zach Moore, and that will up the score to 33-0. Colt Borland will hold. Here's Jeremy McClure to try to add the 34th point, and it is up, and it is right down the middle, and it's Weatherford 34, Castleberry nothing. We'll be right back in just a minute.
They dress him up like a ghost, and he's looking through, and it's Halloween, and he's walking around like this.
My parents told me to go swimming, and I was like, no.
You love watching movies, and Blockbuster thinks you should be rewarded for that with Blockbuster Rewards, where the more movies you rent, the more free ones you get. Plus, get a free Blockbuster Favorites movie every month.
He got on top of that bomb just like it was a horse. He was going to ride that rascal all right on into where it was going.
Join Blockbuster Rewards today and go home happy.
We are named Weatherford National Bank because we are Weatherford. From the rodeo to the Peach Festival to Christmas on the Square and everything in between, you'll find us there sharing in the rich heritage of Weatherford and Parker County. Come by any of our 5 offices located throughout Weatherford and Aledo, where you'll find free checking with overdraft protection, full-service mortgage department, extended lobby hours, and even Saturday banking, all the services that our customers have come to expect. Weatherford National Bank, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
34-0, Weatherford Kangaroos leading Castleberry Lions' first 8-4A district game of the year. Looks like the Roos are going to get off to a fast start. Don Legale, I think you have some teams and some scores.
Yeah, those aren't the only big leads. Stephenville is leading 29-6 over Everman in the third quarter now, and Brownwood up 64-7 over Granbury, also in the third quarter.
My goodness. And I thought that Brownwood and Granbury score would be close. I saw Granbury last week. I thought they had a good team, and they have traditionally been playing Brownwood close. Here is a punch kick that Sean Harbor will take at the 35 as, again, the Kangaroos do not risk kicking it deep here. And Harbor accepts that one at the 36, they'll say, and that's where Castleberry will start out. 1:24 to go in the third period, and the Roos having their way tonight, 34-0. And is that all the scores you have, Mr. Legale?
I don't think we have any updates from what we'd already said about the scores. I believe we did get an Aledo 17-14 over Glen Rose. So Aledo now leading Glen Rose by a field goal.
Kanga Crunch defense back out there again. They have not been punctured tonight at all. As they continue to improve, we're going to have a timeout now by Castleberry as Christopher Ward calls a timeout. And it is still Aledo 17 and Glen Rose 14. And that is in the third period.
Here, I've got an announcement, Randy, that I'll fill a little time with. I want to let you know that in support of Project Graduation, a golf scramble will be held at Canyon West Golf Club. $65 per player. Mulligans for sale $5 each. This will be held Sunday, October the 10th. And again, this is in support of the Project Graduation. As you know, at Weatherford High School, Project Graduation has activities for the kids on graduation night throughout the night. Very well attended and a very safe and fun activity for all the kids. So a great thing if you can support that. You can contact anybody working with Project Graduation. Terry Patton and others are somebody you can contact. So you can see some more information about that and participate in that and help support Project Graduation.
And we also want to add, you can get your video of this football game from your Kangaroo Booster Club. That is the Nothing But Sports presentation, and you've got to get one. Here is a long pass downfield that will not be caught, but they are going to call pass interference against the Roos. I don't know if that was Wilkie or perhaps, I think Wilkie was the man that was over there. Let's see if they say this was a catchable pass. And if it is a penalty, this will help the Lions. And it'll move the ball up around midfield. We'll have a 15-yarder stepped off. And you know, used to, Don Legale, they used to move that ball all the way down to where the penalty occurred, and you saw a lot of 40 and 50 and even 60-yard penalties.
That's a serious piece of penalty, 50-yard penalty.
And now a little more reasonable 15-yarder stepped off against the Kangaroos. So
I think I like that. And he was just a little close to the receiver about the time the ball was getting there, and in the referee's judgment, he interfered with the catch.
So first and 10 for Castleberry at midfield. Ward's rolling to his left, branches on him, misses him. Now he goes a little dink pass toward the line of scrimmage. It'll be caught, but that won't get anything. It's right on top of the receiver is Such. And that is Keith Such over there to make that tackle.
Michael, you're just a little too tall, Michael. I mean, he grabbed the quarterback at his height and he missed his head.
Well, you know,
you all right?
Branch is about 6'5". Went right over the top of the quarterback Ward. That time he had him for about a 6 or 7 yard loss. They did complete the pass, but it was for a 2-yard loss. They're going to mark the ball at the 48. Second down and 12 for Castleberry. They'll have two receivers out. Here's a pitch out, running to the left side, and beautiful as we had
Jason
Such and also number 74 coming in.
Ricky's bringing
that was Clint Hammerman. And you know, Clint Hammerman, he is a dangerous player. I have seen him come in and get some good licks.
And we haven't called his name a lot, but I know Clinton. Clinton played baseball for me several years ago, and Good quality kid, and he plays with a lot of aggressiveness on the baseball field, or on the football field.
He got in a couple of good licks against Burleson that we saw last, or a couple of weeks ago when the Kangaroos and the Elks played. We want to remind you that you can get your videotape of this game from your Kangaroo Booster Club, and it's the Nothing But Sports presentation, and they are, I'll tell you what, I saw that last one, that Burleson game, Don Legale, and that was outstanding work by Brad Stroud and all that group over there.
Excellent work.
Nothing But Sports.
And they came by before the game, they came by to remind us that if you are in Willow Park area and you're on Mallard cable, you will also be able to see that broadcast on the local access there on Mallard cable in the Willow Park area, or on Charter Communications in Weatherford, Parker County area.
Yeah, we've been telling everyone you can see the games on Wednesday and Thursday evenings on your cable channel, and they were not on last week, but I do understand that they will be on Tuesday and Thursday evening this next week.
7 o'clock. Should start at 7 o'clock, so give it a shot and see if they've got the tape ready and got it rolling at 7 o'clock on Tuesday night.
And they will use the live audio that we're bringing you right now over KZ.
They'll do what?
They will have the live audio that we are bringing everyone right now.
You mean all this stuff we're talking about?
Everything we're saying will be on the Kangaroo tape next week. Here is Ward. Rolling to his left, he stops, throws a long pass downfield that is broken up nicely. Oh, and that was Mike McDaniel. He was just inside the receiver, had perfect position on that one. And I think Mike probably had a better chance at that one than did C.J. Harden.
Yeah, he was right there on the coverage. He got called on the pass interference there because he had a little too much of the receiver, but this time he just put his hands up on the ball and tipped it enough that it was not possible for the Castleberry line to catch that pass. So 4th down for the Castleberry Lions, and they're at their own 44-yard line.
11:54 to go in the 4th. Kangaroos are up on top. And back to receive this, what we expect to be a punt, is Borland and Hudson for the Kangaroos. We'll see Christopher Woodard, the big senior, for, oh, this is snapped over his head.
We're going to have a lot of problem here.
He's going to have to run with it, and he's going to be nailed at the 25. Whoa, that snap just went right over Woodard's head. He was able to retrieve the ball around the 15-yard line and got a little of it back. We do have a penalty flag down on the play. We may have something here against the Kangaroos, perhaps a face mask. And let's see what they call here, as looks like the Roos are moving back. And we had I think it was a couple of personal foul penalties against each team. They're not going to call them, whatever it was.
Well, there was illegal procedure, and then I thought that was an illegal downfield kind of a penalty. He put his, maybe been unsportsmanlike, you think?
Well, I didn't get the signal, and I am not sure exactly what happened, but they are getting an explanation now to both coaches.
Well, the coaches are as confused as we are. They're asking him what's happening. But he didn't. The head referee threw the flag at the end of the play. We had one of the Castleberry Lions that was confused about his position in the formation, so he was moving about the time the ball was snapped.
You know, and I think what we're going to have here is I think we're going to have this punt over because there was a penalty.
Offsetting penalties, and you
against both
replay the
teams,
down.
but we will see whether or not the ball has been turned. They've moved the ball back up to the original line of scrimmage.
Oh, man, that's a bad break.
Don, so definitely it's going to be played over. So the Roos will be back to receive this punt again. And we see Borland and now Barrett Weaver. Well, no, there is Garrett Hudson going back with Cole Borland as they walk together back to around the 35, 30.
Well, you know, and as I think about it, Randy, when he threw the flag upon the tackle, they're back at the 20-yard line. I wonder if we might have had a late hit back there at that point. But anyway, we're back at the 44-yard line, and we're back in punting formation for the Castleberry Lions.
Well, Castleberry has decided they will change punters here, but you sure can't blame the punter for that.
That snap was way high.
They're going to bring Jonathan Richardson into punt now, but it certainly was not the fault of Christopher Woodard. Here's the snap. This one's a little better, and there's a end-over-end punt that will hit at the Weatherford 35 and go out of bounds at the Weatherford 32. So now with 11:39 to go, the Kangaroos will have the ball, and they have a 34-0 lead. And we might see some new fellows come in. Zach Moore is going to come in at quarterback. And we see big Bradley Simmons in there in one of the guard positions. And of course, Michael Ross is the center. Brandon Brown's on the right side. And you know, Joe Hash, I was watching him. Joe Hash can really pull. He's one of the best pulling tackles I have seen this year. And you've got to have good speed to get out and lead some of those pulls that he does. Here's a handoff inside that will go for good yardage across the 40 and across the 45.
We'll call Cashin Carlisle's number on that one.
And Cashin,
15 yards.
Does not take Cashin very long to get to that line of scrimmage. And he just darted right through that hole. Good gain out to the 47. 1st and 10 for the Kangaroos.
They're going to let Pierce get a little rest. Got him standing on the sidelines down here. So Cashin Carlisle is the tailback in.
And we've got Jake Weber in at the left, or in at tight end now. Here's a pitch out to Cashin. This is being led by Zach Moore around the left side. Good yardage, 50, 45, 40. He's at the 30. He breaks into the clear, but then the last man is able to get him at the 20-yard line. Well, it looked like for a minute he was going to go all the way. Adrian Martinez dove at the last moment and was able to get Cashin. Let's see where they will mark the ball at the 20.
Great run up the sidelines. He just couldn't quite get away from the last man, but the cornerback held his block over there, and so we're going to call this a 33-yard gain for Carlisle around the left end.
And this drive started at the 33 of Weatherford, and now they're at the 20 of Castleberry, and Cashin almost has himself a touchdown. They come out in the offset eye again with Shane Weeks on the right side, or rather that is a Kane Riddle. The ball will go to Cashin Carlisle as they go to the right side. He crosses the 20 for perhaps a yard on that play. Garrett Hudson comes in now, and Riddle will come out. Chad Legale is in as one of the wideouts.
We're going to see our backup quarterback in. Borland's going to go in at quarterback. Let Moore take a rest. This is our backup quarterback now with Stroud out with the injury. So let's see how Borland does at quarterback here.
Here's the pitch out. This will go to Cashin. Breaks through at the 20 and down to around the 15-yard line. Goes Cashin Carlisle with the ball on that sweep. And the Roos are going to be penalized, it appears. I didn't see the penalty flag down on the field.
I think we got a holding call as they were trying to make the blocks around the right end. So the flag comes in about 23-yard line on a holding penalty, so it's going to march the Roos back.
It was a second down play, and it will still be second down, but now the Kangaroos are going to have a little more yardage tacked on. And we'll have a second down. Now let's call it 23 yards to go as the ball is backed up to the 33. They'll have to get down to the 10-yard line for a first down. And out comes Garrett Hudson. In comes Kane Riddle with a play. Colt Borland at quarterback now, and in the backfield we see Cashin Carlisle. And also Sean Bridges is back there. Here's a handoff that will go to
quarterback sneak.
Well, it's a sneak by Borland. I was looking down at my roster then.
There you go.
Borland has it for just a short gain. We'll call it third down now, about 21 yards to go for Weatherford. We're down to 9:10 to go in the fourth quarter, and they lead it 34-0. And here comes Garrett Hudson in with a play. And I am sure that Mr. McBroom calls every play for the Kangaroos. Strong to the left side, and here's another sweep. Carlisle trying to make a cut, finally does, gets past one or two of the Lions, not much more as that one is shut off on the left side. And again, another penalty. So, well, they've had an opportunity here to score, but this is the second big penalty in this drive. And in comes Jared Nunn. And we have seen Jared Nunn come in, normally playing right guard when he comes in. Let's see what he's playing this time. He'll be at one of the guard positions. And out comes Jose Antillon. You know, Jose Antillon, he is an excellent trap blocker. And you think of a guy that big being able to move like he does, that is difficult to trap block when you're that size, but he does it in fine fashion. I was watching him on film last week. Now Zach Moore's going to come back in. Colt Moreland's going to go out. We might see a long pass here of some kind. Don Legale, some kind of trick play. Let's see what they do. They have two receivers left and right as we have the spread formation with Kane Riddle wing to the right side, and it will go to Kane, but it's a little long over the middle inside the 20-yard line.
Just out of his reach. He got one hand up on it, but couldn't haul it back in.
So that was a fourth down. Well, there was an illegal man downfield for Weatherford, and that will be loss of down, and the ball will go over to Castleberry. So we'll see the Kangaroo defense coming back in now. 8:28 to go in the game and a 34-0 lead. Roos have looked good in this game, and it seems like Don Legale every week they look a little bit better. And next week it'll be the Mineral Wells Rams, and we'll have to play them over in Mineral Wells.
Well, I think they'll be ready for it. One of the things I was wondering about is how they would come off of the off week if it'd take them a little time to get rolling, but they got rolling right quickly today.
1st and 10 for Castleberry from their own 20 or from their own 27-yard line. The ball goes to Thompson, their halfback, and he crosses the 20-yard line. He got away from a couple of Roos, was finally downed at the 33, and again we have a face mask penalty, I believe now, against Weatherford. So a number of penalties against Weatherford here in the last couple of series. Stalled a drive that they had a moment ago, and now they're allowing the Lions to get out to good field position right at the 40-yard line.
Well, he got met right at the line, but we couldn't bring him on down on the tackle, and then he got deeper. And
Jonathan Richardson is back as the quarterback now. Split backfield for Castleberry. He goes back. Now he rolls to the left side, throws a pass down around the 40, and that will be caught. And they're going to get Weatherford, I'm sure, for pass interference here, but it was a nice catch by number 5, C.J. Harden, as he was in front of the two defensive backs that were there for the Kangaroos. But the play will stand there at the 40-yard line of Weatherford. So a nice catch by C.J. Harden. That ball floated up there a little bit, but the defensive backs of Weatherford just could not get around C.J.
He had his position, and you see this with the NFL and the pros. You know, those guys like Michael Irvin, those guys know how to block the receiver off with their body. It gives them every opportunity to get the ball. The only place the defender's got to get him is to try to go through him, and they take the play, though. 21 yards on the pass play is better than 10 yards from the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10 again now for Castleberry from the Weatherford 40. Split backfield, Thompson with it, finds a hole over left guard, still running across the 35 and 30 down to the 29. Good hard run there by Thompson. Colt Borland in on the tackle. We see now in for Weatherford, and Casey Cook is in. Mauricio Marin is in as one of the linebackers. There's Andrew Cope, Jeremy Day.
All right, Roos.
One defensive end.
All right, Roos. Now look here. We're in the 4th quarter, and my prediction is just about true. Let's not let these guys score yet.
Don Legale is beginning to sweat just a little bit. His prediction was 40-0. Here we go. Here's a quick pass that is caught nicely inside the 20-yard line. Good pass and good reception, and I believe that is Jason Rydell with a catch. And so Rydell catches that one inside the 20 and is downed immediately.
Still a lot of good pressure. The quarterback is really having to scramble because the guys are fighting off their blocks and getting back there to give him a lot of pressure.
Don Legale looking for a shutout here. And now the Root defense has got to help him out. 2nd down and about a yard. Inside handoff, and here goes Thompson. Big hole across the 10, down to the 5. Clay was in on that tackle. Mauricio Marin was there, and also Barrett Weaver was over from his cornerback position. Now we see Jeremy McClure come in, and also Danny Merritt, as they're going to get a little more beef inside. Shane Weeks will come out. You know, Andy Cope, he is a 7-foot high jumper over there at defensive end. And you got to be a heck of an athlete to get over that bar. Could you do the Fosbury flop yourself, Don Legale?
I don't think I'd want to try that. I'd probably land on my head.
Split backfield. Here's a handoff to Thompson. Going down to the 1-yard line. They're not going to give him the touchdown, as we see Casey Cook in on that tackle. And it looks like the Lions may be able to get on the board here as they have a second down play from the 1-yard line. We're down to 5:20 left. The Roos are on top, 34-0. Of course, this is not going to affect the outcome of the game. It's just going to affect the outcome of Don Legale's prediction.
Well, see, they didn't know about my prediction, you know? If they didn't know about that, they'd have really pulled themselves together for this.
You should have had a runner go down there and inform Larry McBroom what the deal was here. Here's a wing to the right, and Thompson will take it in for the touchdown for Castleberry, and that will make it 34-6 in favor of Weatherford, and we have 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go. So Don's prediction will go down the drain.
I went out on a limb.
And I believe that was a, how long was that drive? 50-yard drive, Don?
They started on the 27, so 73 yards. 2 long pass plays along the way.
73-yard drive by the Lions late, and certainly not going to be near enough to affect the outcome for the Kangaroos, as they have a big 34-6 lead. And the Lions are going to talk about this conversion here. I'm sure they'll probably go for 2 points. Let's take a break right here with a score 34-6 in favor of Weatherford. We'll be right back. Well, the Castleberry Lions have decided they will kick the extra point, and they're bringing in Jose Romero to do that, and they get it. So that makes it 34-7 in favor of Weatherford with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. It is homecoming night tonight. The Kangaroos have used just about everything in their arsenal to build this 34-7 lead. We've had a long run by Mr. Mark Pierce of, I can't remember how long his run was. It 80 yards? I believe it was an 80-yard run by Mark.
81 yards.
And then we had an 83-yard punt return by Garrett Hudson. We had a 24-yard run by Zach Moore for a touchdown. And they'll back deep for Weatherford on this kickoff is McDaniel, and we haven't seen Mike back there this year. Here's one that is hit hard and off one of the front men up there for Weatherford, and I think it went off of
Hey, there's my buddy. There's my buddy Chad Legale with that ball.
And Chad running over from the sideline. He was on the field of play, so we're not saying he came off the sideline, but he was nearer the sideline than was Michael Ross, and he came over and got that loose ball at the Weatherford 46. And I'm not sure that was intentional or not. That was an unusual looking kick. It was a line drive, and I think whoever that hit, if it was Michael Ross, had already turned to go back to block. So a good break and a heads-up play there by Chad Legale. 1st and 10 for Weatherford from their own 46. A handoff to Carlisle that breaks clear across the 50 and the 45 and down to the 44. That will be a gain of about 11 yards for Cashin. Good blocking up front. Michael Ross is still the center. We see Joe Hash over there at right tackle. He's done a good job again today. And you know, Connolly, I saw Connolly make a number of good blocks in one of those long drives against Fossil Ridge. He's done a good job when he's been in there, too.
He's a good young man, too.
And he's over on the left side. Here is a handoff to Cashin Carlisle across the 45 down to the 42. And that will be a first down for Weatherford. We're down to 3:47 to go. Kangaroos about to notch their first 8-4A district win of the year. Last year, this was a loss as Castleberry won in overtime over in River Oaks, and that hurt. I really think that's a game that cost the district championship.
Well, it gave us some negative momentum too, I think, into the district play.
I formation, and this is Chesney with it across the 40, and Chesney, some very hard running, gets about 5 yards. The ball will be placed at the 37-yard line of Castleberry, and they're just ramming it now right at the Lions and trying to run down the clock with 3 minutes to go. Kane Riddle will come out, and in will come Weeks with a play as we have Dolan quarterbacking here. He's done some of the quarterbacking here in the fourth quarter. Again, the I formation. They give it to the back man, Chesney. Not much this time. He's stacked up. In comes Kevin Cole and also Thompson there to make the tackle. Christopher Ward got in. A lot of these guys for Castleberry going both ways, offensively and defensively, and it's just hard to keep from getting a little tired at some point in the game when you have to do that. And of course, Castleberry is one of the smaller schools in 8-4A. Third down, 6 yards needed for Weatherford. The ball is at the 37-yard line of Castleberry. This is a pitch out to Cashin Carlisle. Gets a good block. Cuts inside the 35. Nope, it's not going to be a first down. A little short. I wish I knew who threw that good block over there. It might have been Shane Weeks.
Josh Hulme over on the right side, too, in the wide receiver spot. Borland rolled out after the pitch out and got up there to be part of the blocking scheme as well. He's taking his lessons from seeing Zach Moore do the same thing. Down to the 34-yard line, a fourth.
Josh Hulme,
4th and 1.
He certainly looks a lot bigger than he did last year. And he had him a fumble recovery a couple of weeks ago. Josh did. He must be working out on weights in his spare time. He goes way out, wide receiver to the left, but here is a pitch out to the right side. This will go to Kane Riddle, and he's trying to get that first down. Does he have it? Yes, he does, at the 30-yard line of Castleberry. So a first down with 1:11 to go.
We got a flag
it's just
on the
a matter
field,
of time here before the Kangaroos run this one down. And let's see who the flag will be against. Illegal procedure against Weatherford, so they have to do this over. And they will have about 7 yards to go for the first down. It's been a good homecoming night tonight in Weatherford. And a huge, huge crowd. And most of it is still here, Don.
Still here and still enjoying a really nice evening. A little bit of a breeze out there. We're kind of insulated from that breeze, but we can see the flags fluttering in the breeze. A lot of secondary players in, get some legs under them, getting a little experience on the field in the Friday night football.
Fourth down. Here is Cole Borland, their quarterback, and again they will go with the sweep. But this one is read quickly, and a nice tackle by Santana Doak. It's D-O-K is the last name for Santana. And he makes the stop at the 40-yard line. The ball will go over to Castleberry, but we're down to 44 seconds. And the Root defense will come back on, and perhaps this will be the last few plays of the game. I see Chesney coming in as one of the linebackers. But we still have Garrett Hudson and Weaver in the backfield, and also there's McDaniel back there. Here's the quarterback, Richardson, back. Tries to get one over to 34. That is Jason Rydell, but that's incomplete. Second down play. The ball is at the 40 of Castleberry. We're down to 38 seconds. Darrell Clay is in. So is 81. 81, of course, is Casey Cook. He's got in some playing time here in the fourth quarter.
You know, we haven't
Jeremy
called
Day over on the left side.
We haven't called Barrett Weaver's name very much tonight, but maybe that's just because he's keeping his guy covered and they don't want to try to pass it over there. He had such a good game against Burleson.
He certainly did, and they haven't gone at him too much in this game. Here is a rollout to the right side. They'll try him this time. Let's see what happens. And Barrett Weaver will intercept it. At the 40, he's at midfield, and that is the reason that they don't go at Barrett Weaver too much. Because he's liable to take it back on you.
There you go. Could you ask for any better? I bring him up, and we get an Oski from him. Great job.
That was
great job.
Great timing, Don Legale. The ball is back to the Castleberry.
Roll out right, and the ball's floated in the air a little too high. And Barrett has got deep coverage over on the right sidelines, and so he waits for that ball, and he's the one that comes down with it, probably around the 34, 35-yard line. And then, as he's done in the past, he starts putting some distance between him and where he catches the ball. 20 yards on the return. So Roos get the ball on their own on the Castleberry line, 45-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play. They're going to go with the pitch out. Here's McDaniel, and he is down hard as he crosses the 45 on a head tackle by the Lions. But we're down to 11 seconds right now, and it appears the time is just going to run off. The Kangaroos are going to win it by the score of 34-7. There are 2 seconds, one, and that is it for homecoming 1999. The Weatherford Kangaroos defeat the Lions 34-7. We'll be right back with some stats, and then we'll wrap everything up for you from Kangaroo Stadium right after we pause for our sponsors.